right, let's do it.
Well, welcome back, all you rockers, rockettes, and everything in between. Guess what? We're live once again, unless you're listening to it later. But right now, we are live for a new edition of And the Podcast Will Rock Rankings Edition. That's right. We have finished an album, and it's time to talk about it. We're going to be doing a lot of these lately because we are coming very close to the end of the wheel, as you will know. But if you didn't know, now you know. I am your co-host, Mark Kamier, and with me, as always, Corey Morissette. Corey, do you have more energy for the part 2 of the live streaming Friday?
Well, I hope so. I said part 1, for the folks that don't know, we just did an almost 2-hour podcast with our good buddies at the Sean Geek and Fat Fret podcast. We were comparing 5150 and Eat 'em and Smile, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. We had about 10 minutes to get off that call, quickly wolf down some supper, get my Wiser special blend going. I hope I have enough to get me through tonight. I don't know. And then start this call here.
See.
So we're starting a few minutes late. I'll very quickly go through the introductions. We have right beside me here our good buddy Ryan Powell is back. Thank you for joining us, Ryan. And then we have Michael Griffith. We have Todd McGinnity. We have Eric Senich. And we have Chaz Charles. And that's it. That's all the people on the call.
Not a single person was left out.
That's
not
right. You don't want to leave anybody out when you're doing one of these shows, Mark. I mean, that would be
you
criminal,
always want to
wouldn't it?
remember the name of everyone involved.
Absolutely. So, God, I would just be so embarrassed if I ever forgot anybody. Fortunately, I'm not doing that. Oh, wait a minute. Sean McGinnity apparently is here, too.
Whoop. It's good that you can bust my balls. That's good.
Well, I got to bust somebody's, and Kevin Brown's not here, so I guess you'll do.
Oh, that's true. You're his punching bag for the evening, Sean. Sorry.
Well, at least I won't put on a fake British accent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shots fired.
You're saying he's a fraud?
Oh,
absolutely.
He's from Saskatoon. He's a prairie boy from Saskatoon.
Saskatchewan. He's from.
It's all
it turns out
aligned.
he's from like fucking New Jersey or something.
He's about as British as Chaz is.
He's from fucking Island. He's from fucking Island, man.
Come on, man. Chaz is from Saskatoon as well. That accent's all fake.
Yeah. What accent am I
Just
need?
says all the time.
Hey, Tom in the
Ah,
chat.
damn.
It's 8:05. It's time to rock. That's right. We're about 5 minutes late on purpose. There you go. 8:05. Time to rock.
We can't rock 8:05, but we're gonna try. So here we go.
It's math rock.
It is math rock, and speaking of math, we're going to be using numbers and math to determine where in our rankings did each track fall from the album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. And as you guys know, from listening, it's an album near and dear to Corey and our hearts because we love this album. It's good stuff. But we'll see how everyone else fares. So, Corey, if you're ready to get started with it, what do you say?
All right, so we're going to be ranking 11 songs here tonight from the album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. We got ballots in from 25 people. That's a combination of Mark and myself, a lot of our Patreons, and some special guests like the aforementioned Eric Senich from the Van Halen News Desk, and the Bo hosts themselves, Darren and Brent from the Bogus Soda Show. They submitted some rankings as well. And some fan favorites like Kelsey also put some rankings in. So we're going to go from 11 to 1. We compiled all those rankings. We gave, on a point system, the 11th track, if it was slotted there, got 1 point, 10th track to 93, all the way up the ballot. So the absolute lowest a song could get is 25, because that was if it was last on every single ballot. And for some reason, the 11th song did not rank last on every single ballot, which I find just shocking because it's this one here. That's right. Spanked. Spanked came in at number 11. Yep, it did.
What?
Total points 67, so it did a lot better than I thought. I just thought a bunch of people made a mistake in their rankings and forgot to put it last. But I tell you what, the highest ranking, somebody actually put it fourth. which is just shocking to me. I'm hoping that person's on the call. I'll be looking that up here. But most people ranked it 11th. 10 people ranked it 11th or dead last. The audience ranking on this song was 9th. Of course, we do the poll every week from the audience if it's what dreams are made of or if the dream is over. The audience ranked this one 9th. Our official poll here, it ranks 11th. Mark Meyer, are you happy with where Spank ended up?
Not really, because I, just like the audience, agreed that it at least deserves its place at 9, because there are 2 more songs that I think are weaker than Spanked. Now, I'm not saying Spanked is the be-all, end-all of this album and it deserves more love. I certainly would not have put this in my top 5 like somebody did. But I'm not going to knock it because, look, I think Spanked actually slaps a little bit harder than you realize, Corey, because Corey's very vehemently against this song. So, but I think it deserves its place at 9th place. So, come on.
Nope. 11th is where it goes. Actually, and the person who ranked it 4th, not here tonight, Heath McCoy, ranked this one 4th.
Oh, my. Yeah. Oh. Well, Heath McCoy, if you're listening for later, please get in touch with us. Let us know your thoughts on why it deserves to be so high.
Eric Senich, you were with the audience ranking this one 9th. Why are you wrong?
Yeah, no,
We're not wrong.
well, yeah, I mean, the lyrics are what lowered it down the list for me, but the music itself is kick-ass, and I think it's better than the 2 that I had beneath it. So, yeah, I don't have a top 5, but I know it's not at the bottom.
Well, Chaz, you didn't have top 5, but you ranked this one 6th.
Yeah, man, this song is slapping, like Mark said, man. For me, I can respect a 4 as easily as my 6. It's that middle ground in there, and it could have slapped it out. Just had one of them smacking contests with the other that I have, coming up before it, or after, in the ranking. So it's all good. It's a great song.
It did give birth to the Splat and Bone shirt, so we gotta
credit where credit's due. There you go, man.
If only somebody were wearing that shirt, that would have been fun.
Yep, I did, and I switched. Me and Anne Murray, we do costume changes.
Anne Murray.
Well, let's talk to the McGinnity boys here for a second because, Sean, you had this one ranked 9th, and Todd, you had this one ranked 11th. So I already know which brother I like more. Todd, why was this the last song on the record for you?
What's that?
Why is Spanked the worst song on this record for you?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit on the album for some reason. Sounds like a drop D or drop E.
Yeah, it's got the stank, man.
With a bass flutter to it. I don't know. It just doesn't really pique my interest. For some reason. I ranked this. I definitely ranked this one at the bottom of the list.
Yeah. And John, you had it 9th.
Yeah, there's good aspects to it, but there's songs that are way better than it for sure.
All right, and Ryan Powell, you had this one ranked 10th, so pretty low on your ballot as well.
Yeah, that belies the fact that I actually really do like Spanked, though. I would have liked to have it higher on the list, just to kind of counter the narrative that it gets a bad rap for its lyrics and for some of the stylistic choices, but it's a great song. I just couldn't rank it above a lot of the other songs on the album, so it ended up pretty low. Not bottom for me, though. So, yeah, I'm happy to see that other people did not rank it as low as last place.
Well,
Spanked not on the bottom.
Michael Griffin thought it was on the bottom, so tell us why.
I did rank this last. I acknowledge that musically it's cool. It's got this raw kind of dark edge to it. But I think outside of the 3 songs on the Best of Both Worlds, this is the worst lyrics that Sam's ever written for Van Halen. And if you brought if you brought somebody who didn't really know the band and you go, here's the For Unlawful album, here's Right Now, and then here's Spanked. And the same guy wrote both songs. You'd be like, what? No way. They wouldn't
just left.
No, man, I think that's awesome that the same guy is capable of both things. That shows you the diversity in the content.
It's diverse. You're right.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Yeah.
a wild time. Hey, look who's here.
Yeah, it's not the Chazatar, it's the
new
Sedich
avatar.
bot. Yeah,
Yeah.
still looks more realistic than
that.
Kisses.
Even
I
my
gotta tell
head
you.
is bobbing to the side. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Looks like he had a root canal or something. What is he on? Maybe Percocet? What's he hitting tonight?
All right, real quick, I just want to go to the Bow hosts here. Darren had Spanked ranked 8th. He said if this had the same tempo and spareness off the live right here, right now version, it would have been above Judgment Day for him, which he ranked a little bit higher. So big words there, but I agree. Like the live right here, right now version is much better.
Big
but
words.
that's not what
Sure.
we're ranking here tonight. And Bow host Brent said Spanked was 9th for him. Cheese for lyrics, not anywhere near his best, but I still really appreciate the dirty bass lines and overall grit of the music. And then if we go to Kevin Brown, do I want to read Kevin Brown's? I don't know.
I don't know. Do you?
I guess so. Spanked ranked 10th for him. He says gets a bad rap, but it's not nearly as awful as people make it out to be. The lyrics are just a bit juvenile and dopey, which he just described himself there. I think a little bit juvenile and dopey. He's not here, so I'm just gonna keep.
He's not even here, and you're still
yeah.
busting his balls.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna crap on him all night here. So Spanked number 11th, not really a surprise. You guys curious? What do you think number 10 was in the rankings? This one kind of surprised me a little bit.
I know. I think I know exactly what's number 10, or at least what I think should be number 10.
All right, what do you think? What do you say?
Number 10.
I think Pleasure Dome is 10.
Okay. Anybody else think Pleasure Dome?
No, I think 316 is 10.
316. Okay.
Yeah. Pleasure Dome is close to it, but I think it's in and out.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, Chaz is my boy.
Well, I
Yeah.
tell you what,
Oh, yo.
Well, you guys are in the same hood, apparently.
Sam's
I
got
can't give
cornrows
any
now
hand
too.
gestures.
White dude
Jeez.
cornrows. Yeah.
All right. Well, guess what? Nobody got it.
Oh wow.
Number 10, Man on a Mission. Total points,
Oh, wow.
94. Its highest ranking on anyone's ballot was second. One person ranked it number 2. Its lowest ranking was dead last. 2 people ranked it dead last. Its most votes was 10th place. 6 people actually voted it as the 10th place song, and that's where the audience had this one ranked as well at number 10. But I was kind of surprised. Man on a Mission comes in at number 10. Like you said, I thought, a 316 might have been here. But, Mark, let's start with you again. Man on a Mission was actually pretty high up on your rankings. You had it number 8.
It was number 8. So I mean, not too much further ahead, but you'll notice I put that ahead of Spanked because I had Spanked at 9. This one was at 8, and I think the only reason Spanked is behind it is because the lyrics are worse. And I enjoy Spanked. Obviously, I've talked about it, but yeah, it's not so strong. Men on a Mission has a lot of really awesome aspects to it, but it's still having to compete for me with the other tracks. So, but it had to fall somewhere, and I just liked it just a little bit better than Spanked lyrically, and I think that's really what set them apart. But I mean, number 10, I'm not completely surprised by that, but I get it.
I had it number 9, so pretty close for me too. But the McGinnity Boys, this is the only song on For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge you guys agreed on. You both had, and there was Play Splat and Bone. I just heard it. It's on Man on a Mission. You guys both had this song ranked number 10, so right where we are here. Sean, let's start with you. What made this a number 10 ranked song?
I thought it might have ranked higher because of our appearance on your episode and the ratings boost that we gave you. I mean, didn't give you.
We went from 10
took away
listeners to
from
12 that week. It was amazing.
We did.
The McGinnity bump, we call it.
Yeah, but this is actually the only song off this album that my daughter likes.
Yep.
And when Sammy's kind of singing along, I gotta kind of censor the lyrics to my 8-year-old. She said, Daddy, what's this line mean? Never mind.
Nothing.
Remember, Play Splat and Bone is about spatchcocking a chicken. Has nothing to do with
Right.
anything else.
Honestly, that might have been the hardest I've ever laughed on any podcast ever. But it's not a great song. Like, there's some. It could have been worked a little bit more, and Sammy could have actually put some effort in.
Todd, you agree?
Yeah, I mean, the beginning, I mean, Eddie's got a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff at the beginning. He's not before, but as the song kind of goes on, it just kind of loses, I don't know, it kind of loses my attention.
What?
I don't know why, but it just the way the song goes. I mean, there had to be a song at the, it was number 10.
That's true. Yep. But I tell you, Chaz, you didn't agree. You put this one number 4.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. I'm looking at Todd and I'm looking at his wall and I'm like, what? How could you not have this higher? You played this song? I dance around with a big smile on my face. Like, when I play Van Halen, that generally is what's happening, right? Because it's like feel good even when you play the hardest shit, right? This song for me, I just love all those hammer-ons and down and down, 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 down. That is so much. It's so funky, so much fun to play. So yeah, dude, this easily could have ended up right at the top, but there were others on this album that really do kind of stand out. So, but this for me is just like, oh, this is top 10, like, love to play Van Halen. Yes, right up in there. Yeah.
Ryan Powell, I'm going to go on a limb and say you were not going to downvote a single song on For Unlawful. You had this one ranked number 9.
Yeah, this is another casualty of so many other great songs on here, but this is a really good song. The chorus is great. Sammy is killer on that, with just screaming at the top of that melody. And yeah, it has a great kind of funky jumping around riff that Eddie has, and I think it's definitely belongs on the album, and it belongs on a great album. Just, again, too many really strong songs that just pushed it down to 9.
Michael Griffin, you had this one number 8. Tell us about it.
Yeah, there's kind of this deep track trilogy here with this song, In and Out, and Spanked. And I kind of, well, not so much Spanked, but this and In and Out I went back and forth on. I think one thing I'll add is Al sounds, I mean, in this song in particular, it's like John Bonham resurrected. He sounds a lot like John Bonham, and I know Andy Johns tried to bring that sound out, but he really does on this song, especially if you listen to vinyl with it. But it's a good song. I mean, it's solid. I mean, it's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst.
Eric Sanich, Man on a Mission, number 7 on your ballot.
Yeah, it's got a killer groove to it. That's the thing. And yeah, the hammer-ons, all the stuff that Eddie's doing on this. Sammy's vocals are awesome. And again, the harmonies, with Mike and Ed. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of this tune. Great song.
Yep, I kind of dig it too. It was definitely an upvote for me. Let's go now to a few folks who couldn't be here tonight. Kevin Brown, I had Man on a Mission number 7. He says, quote, I always loved the groove of this one and couldn't believe it ranked so low in the polls. Then again, it was fairly early episode, and the trolls be trolling. We did have a lot of trolls early on, so that may have hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
Man on a Mission. Let's go to the Bo hosts here. Bo host Brent had Man on a Mission number 8. Why? Because it's a bit filler for me, he says. And Darren had Man on a Mission number 11. He said this was the worst track on the record. Why? Can't get past the opening riff. Sounds like kids' TV theme to me. Sammy turns it in a great vocal performance, though, but he couldn't get over that. And I'm kind of with him on that one. So
I mean, it is jarring for sure, but it is what it is. It's only for a moment.
Yeah. So that's Man on a Mission, number 10 officially on our official show rankings for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Let's go on to number 9. Quickly, anybody who got an idea what do you think number 9 is?
Probably 316 if I had to guess.
Okay, the instrumental. Tell you, instrumentals have not done well. They're usually right around the bottom of the pack, so that's not a bad guess. Anyone else want to venture?
The dream
one?
Is over. The dream is over.
Okay.
In and Out?
In and Out. Well, I tell you what, no, it's this one here. Oh, it's time to get lost in this Pleasure Dome.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Number 9, Pleasure Dome, 96 points. Only 2 points separated 10 from 9. Man on a Mission had 94. Pleasure Dome had 96. Its highest ranking on someone's ballot was 3rd. One person ranked this as the 3rd best track on For Unlawful. Its lowest ranking was dead last at 11. 5 people ranked it there. Its most votes were 10th. 6 people ranked it 10th. And the audience ranking had this one in at number 7. So Pleasure Dome, I know for me was a little... I'm kind of back and forth on it because instrumentally, this song I think is really, really great. Especially Alex, and we're going to hear him right here. Like, holy motherfucker, can that boy play the drums? but Sammy does his absolute best to ruin this song for me. He is so bad on this lyrically and vocally. It's fucking terrible. So I actually had Pleasure Dome ranked at number 10 for me. Again, I like listening to it on live right here, right now, because it's an instrumental there, and it's fantastic. This version, to me, it's the second worst track on the record. Mark Meyer, how about you?
Same as you, man. 10th place for me. And that is because, look, full disclosure, I don't think there's a bad track on For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, but the rank, if you rank them, they got to go somewhere. And for me, as far as all the band goes, just to tip my cap a little bit, as far as all the band members being involved in the songs, because there's an instrumental, I think this is the weakest. That doesn't mean that it's a weak song per se and that it's awful. No, actually, I enjoy it, but out of the entire all the tracks, I think it's the weakest with featuring all the bands. So that is the only reason my Pleasure Dome is at number 10.
Eric Senich, you had this as the worst track on the record, or at least your least favorite.
Yeah, I did. By the way, I can't hear the songs, Corey. I'm not sure if that's something on my end.
Well, that's
No,
a
I
shame.
was
You
going to say
probably never
something
heard
too. No,
Really, I
sounds like
can hear
sludge.
Oh,
I'm not hearing anything at all.
Oh yeah, it is sludgy, but I can still
It's-
hear it.
It's deep sludge here. Yeah.
But yeah, I have that as last. Kind of similar to what you said, Corey. The music itself, I love. But it sounds to me, and I don't know what you guys think about this, but it sounds to me like it was written as an instrumental. Like it wasn't intended to have vocals. And for whatever reason, Sammy laid down the lyrics and the vocals on this, but the spoken word stuff is just not working for me. So that's why when they play it live on that tour, to me it works better, where they just play the instrumental. So that's why I have it last.
Well, hopefully someone in the chat on YouTube can let me know if they're hearing the song. Okay, I'm hearing it just fine. So
I'm hearing it
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's just a setting on my part. I'm not sure, but I'm not hearing any of the music.
yeah, maybe it's time you upgrade that laptop, Senich. Don't they pay you enough at the Van Halen news desk? Come on.
It's brand new. It's brand spanking new, but I'm not sure what.
Well, fortunately,
now?
you've probably heard these songs before, so it doesn't really matter for tonight. But Chaz-tastic, you had this ranked dead last as well.
Dead last, yeah. And it's really Sammy. He killed it on this one. Just totally Sammy. I love the abstract music. I think it's really cool. It's very proggy for me. Really dig it. Would love it as an instrumental. For me, it kind of reminds me, especially with the drum sound and the weirdness of Achilles' Last Stand. Like it's got that feel. It's like their version of that. And I think that actually has come out, right? I think that's what they were going for. Or one of those types of songs. So anyway, it does really strike me as that, and so musically, all up. But there's so many other great tracks on this record. Something had to fall. This is it.
And hey to Johnny Bean in the chat. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
What's up, dude?
Hopefully a big fan of For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Todd McGinnity, you had this one ranked pretty high, number 6 for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a cool intro, and just like everyone else, like I mean, it's got a nice groove after the talking. Like he's as an instrumental, it's great, but for him to, I don't know if he forced himself to try to put something in there after it was written, or I can't see him creating the lyrics first and writing the music after.
Just seems like an awkward song to put a chorus on or any kind of hook to it.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just not. It's just kind of an awkward feel to it.
Lost in this pleasure dome.
Fuck
Yeah.
off. All right.
Okay, Corey, remix it with your vocal. It'll be much better. Thank you.
It actually
buddy.
would, right?
Sean, you had this one ranked. Where do you have this one ranked?
3.
3. Holy shit. Yeah, you're the one that had this nice and high.
It would have been ranked number 1 if Sammy was not involved. It's that simple.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a massive Alex Van Halen fan. Alex is the Van Halen for me. I know you all love Eddie, but I'm a drummer. Alex is my guy.
I'm with you.
Fucking nails it on this. This is his. He's the one that kind of brought this one to the table, from my understanding. It was his couple of ideas that he had that he worked with Eddie, and he kind of put it together. And this is him. And for me, it's like, okay, if this is an Alex-driven song, then this is my favorite song.
Yeah.
And when I listen to the song, I try to imagine what David would have done, and David would have, like, for the shit he did for like House of Pain and songs like that, he would have found something dangerous to do in this song as opposed to some fucking alien fucking dome with anal probes and shit. Like,
You're right.
Fuck
He
that
would have been
guy.
dangerous. This was the
Honestly,
perfect recipe for dangerous Van Halen. You're absolutely right.
This might have been the song where I'm like, okay, I'm fucking done with Sammy. This might have been the song that did it, but I didn't want to downvote it. I didn't want. What Alex did is fucking a masterclass of drumming. His chemistry with his brother is a masterclass of, this is what you do when you get two main driving points to a band. And Sammy can't fuck it up enough that it ranks 3 for me.
Johnny B in the chat, love this LP. I heard most of the album on the radio a few days before it came out. Was a live from 5150 album party. Man, that would have been cool. Anyone else catch that broadcast live from 5150 back in the day?
Oh, that would have been awesome.
No.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Is that the one where it's a radio call-in? People are calling in?
Oh, it might have been, yeah.
Oh, like Westwood One or something like that. It's probably on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
We'll have to
Now I
look that
really
up.
want to hear that.
Michael Griffith, Pleasure Dome, number 7. Tell us about it.
Yeah, when this record came out when I was a kid, I love that intro. I couldn't get enough of Ed's intro. And right when it ended, I would just switch the track to the next track. And I would do that every time. And I hated this song. It would have been last. And I was on your guys' show doing Pleasure Dome, and you kind of enlightened me. I listened to it, actually listened to the whole thing several times. And it's a little better than I was giving it credit for. And instrumental, it's a masterpiece instrumental, I think. It's one of the best instrumental pieces they've done in the Sam era. And Sam screws it up, but not enough to put it last in my book. So I had it kind of 7, lower half, but I like it. I don't skip it anymore. So
You guys feel a
Thank God.
proggy type of thing? Like it's more prog rock type
A
of?
little bit.
Definitely. Yep.
I don't know.
Corey, you made the reference to, or no, sorry, it was Chaz that made the reference to Achilles' Last Stand.
Yeah.
Now I can't get that out of my head. Like, that's Bonham. I know
Yeah.
Alex was a big Bonham fan. You can really hear it on here. The only thing I would complain about is you can't hear the squeak of the kick drum. To match what Bonham always said.
Right.
Zeppelin recordings, yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan
Nice.
Powell.
I'm sure
what do
Andy
you-
Jones could have figured that out.
Ryan Powell had this one number 8.
Yeah, this one beat out a couple others. I agree with most of what people are saying, especially on the instrumental side. It's a masterclass with Al, but listen to how tight Ed is with Al on this, and they are fast and intricate riffs that he's doing. Al's not just spamming it. If you listen to it, it's an intricate pattern that he nails every time. There's one time toward the end where he hits his stick. And I like that was included, that there's just a little bit of, he's not entirely perfect, but that was a good take. I actually don't mind the vocals at all in this. I know everybody else gives it crap. The verse where he's actually singing has a great melody, and kind of fits the song, kind of soaring over that part. Not a great chorus. I get that the spoken word kind of detracts from everybody else, but it's just part of the whole for me, since this is just kind of how I was introduced to it. So again, a lot of other things that rank above it, but I don't give it much grief.
Fair enough.
Do you guys, I have a question about this, because at the time Sammy was on this like crazy kick of just banging groupies. I don't know how to say it any lighter than that. And he thought he was God's gift to women. And do you think when he recorded the vocal or wrote the vocal for this, he was like, God, I'm sexy. I'm going to do a sexy vocal. Like, do you think he was like, so like, I mean, cause Sammy's pretty full in his head, like a lot of the time, right? I kind of feel like this is him going, look at me, I could be sexy too,
If that's
and
Sammy
just
sexy,
totally-
if that's Sammy sexy, it's a miracle he ever got laid.
I know exactly. Right. It's like,
Under
you're
the
playing in
stage during the
Eddie's
show,
band.
right? There was
Oh,
all
yeah.
kinds of shit going on with this guy,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Senich
Well,
would know. He's got all the
he was-
stories.
He was pumping
Senich
iron
was
before
there,
this
no?
album. He
Senich
all
was there.
jacked up. Do you remember he
Senich was the
he-
fluffer, I thought. No?
Senich was taking
No.
notes in the corner. Good job, Sammy.
I think
I was getting Sammy's sloppy seconds. Okay, what do you want from me? It was like the
I don't
fat
think
fat
Sammy
sister.
That and the
Never-
catering table, and you're set.
No, but Sammy was working out for this album and tour. I don't know if you guys remember, he was talking about that. So if you see the pictures of him too, he's like a little bit like, a little jacked up. So maybe
He was
maybe you're
boxing
right,
back
Sean.
then, yeah.
Maybe he thought like he was fucking tough guy. Sean's just hating on Sammy.
I know.
This is good.
Never
This is
liked
good.
it. All I know is that everything was going good in the booth until Sammy laid the vocal down, and then Torben Ulrich said this.
I would say delete that.
But they didn't listen to him. They should have, but they didn't. Johnny in the chat again says he has that show on tape. Eddie plays his guitar unplugged and stuff. It was not a call-in show, just a band talking between songs. That still would have been really, really cool. Tom Armbruster says he had it fourth. If you just focus on the band and not Sammy, especially Sammy's voice, fourth. I might have been more inclined to raise it up to had Sammy not been on it. But let's go now to the Bo hosts. We're talking Pleasure Dome number 9 for Bo host there, and he says a guitar geek out, which the guitars are pretty good, but I'm kind of with Sean. This is more the Alex Van Halen track on the record. If you play guitar after Eruption, this is the Rubicon. Sadly, not really a song, more of a jam. Alex owns it. Brett gave Pleasure Dome number 5. Why? To him, this is VH prog rock. There you go. I don't know. I don't think fucking Genesis when I'm listening to this, but teach their own. He loves prog rock. The tempo changes are cool. The song takes you on a ride. Guitar solo and drum work, some of the best of this era. Then that fake British man, Kevin Brown, had Pleasure Dome actually ranked 11th. And his quote was, "It is what it is. Scott's edit makes it way better, but it's still pretty middle of the road. Would much rather listen to this than Pretty Woman or Dancing in the Streets, though." I don't know if I agree with him on that one, but
you had me till that. No, bullshit. Went too far. Too far.
Too far. All right. So
he's drinking. He was drinking.
That's actually he's been sober for like a couple of months now, and just just no fun at all. Just a miserable bastard.
Always happens.
So Corey, you're like, hey, Kevin, you're a fun guy. Let's start a podcast together. I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Can I take that back?
And I'm slogging through the show like Kevin's just like, oh, he's so pedantic and boring. He's like, fuck.
Well, it's like imagine being one of Chevy Chase's friends when he gives up drugs. It's like, oh, really?
Oh God.
You know what?
That's like no reason to hang out with you.
Here's the comment of the night.
Kevin was I mean, Corey, you commented to me personally on that asswipe who was criticizing the AC/DC author.
Yes.
And Kevin jumped on too, and he made a comment, and so I emailed him. I said, "Thanks, man." He goes, "It would be even worse if," he said, I stopped drinking a few weeks ago, so I'm really pissed off or something. He made some comment. So now it all makes sense.
And more power to Kevin. He's been doing great with that, but I got my wisers. I'm having fun. There's nothing better than kicking up your feet and listening to some Van Halen on a Friday night with your good friends.
Hey, Kamar, you got to give us a toast. Your whatever. We got to get a toast in here, and you're the toaster guy.
Yeah, we're not manifesting, but do something. Hey, to song number 8.
We're not manifesting. How about this? Manifest the next song.
Let's manifest track number 8. Who do you think? What song do you think finished number 8 in the polls here? I'll tell you right now, number 8 garnered 103 votes or 103 points on our voting system.
I'm going with Elephant Gun. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
Wrong show.
In and Out. I'm going to go with In and Out this time.
Yeah, they probably. It's not what I have, but they probably voted In and Out.
Pretty unanimous for In and Out.
Yeah,
top of the world.
Or actually, maybe this one's 316.
No, it's actually In and Out. You guys are right.
Fuck.
Number 8, In and Out, 103 points. Its highest ranking was 3rd. One person on our voting panel here voted it 3rd. The lowest ranking was dead last. 4 people ranked this one dead last.
Wow.
The most votes it got was in 10th spot. 5 people ranked it 10th. The audience ranking when we did the show was 8th. So In and Out at number 8. And Scott Monroe called it in the chat too. In and Out. Good job, Scott. Let's start with Mark Kammeyer on this one. I know I had In and Out 7. You had it ranked just slightly higher than me at number 6.
Just 6. It edged out one other track. I don't know, man. I dig In and Out. I think it doesn't make the top 5. It just narrowly escapes my top 5, but it's a killer track. Again, there are no bad tracks on For Unlawful in my opinion, but you got to put them somewhere. In and Out just barely outside my top 5. So, 6.
I agree. Like I had it 7th, but only because, and 7th is still a really good ranking for me on this one because I love In and Out. Ryan Powell, I'm betting you do too. You had In and Out actually as your last ranked song on the record. I'm still guessing it's a big thumbs up from you though.
Oh yeah, it's a big thumbs up. Everything on this album is. It just, what is it, like 6 minutes and 5 seconds, and I just feel like it didn't earn that runtime. I think it kind of went back to the well like one too many times. But that said, I mean, Sammy's kind of acapella, transitions without the band are great, and just a lot of really, really good things about the song. Just overstayed its welcome.
All right, Todd McGinnity, you had this one ranked number 4. Big fan of this one, are you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got a weird intro to it. It's got the dual guitar intro, lots of things going on. It has kind of a Satriani vibe to it with solo. So it, I ranked it a little higher than everyone else. But I guess when you play music versus when you listen to music, sometimes when you play it, it gives you a little bit more oomph to it. I mean, if you know what I mean. Like some songs, some people might not like to listen to, but it's fun to play.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, Michael Griffith, you had this one ranked number 10.
Yeah, I was going back and forth with this one and Man on a Mission, but it's okay. I do this one. I actually kind of like the lyrics. I mean, it sounds very juvenile, In and Out, like it's innuendo. But when you really analyze the lyrics, it's a lot deeper about having to pay money when you're born and having to pay money when you die.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the lyrics in this one. And it's the Al Show, the whole album. I mean, he's so good in this song, the intro and everything he's doing. So it's I know I have it 10th, but it's right there, very close to 9.
Actually, you're wrong, Michael. This song is again about spatchcocking a chicken. This whole album is about spatchcocking chicken. Sean McGinnity, you said this was your least favorite track on the record.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
sure.
It's paint by numbers. I don't know. Complaining about the man when you own an island. Complaining about paying out taxes when you have more money than God. Complaining about, I don't know. When
It's like
Sammy
putting-
complains, I tune out.
It's like,
honestly.
it's like putting out an album called, Tortured Poet, and you're a billionaire.
We're not getting you started on
exactly.
Taylor Swift, Mark. No, we don't have time for that. I want to give
You're
a
right.
quick.
You're right. We don't.
A quick hello for Connor Burton. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Scott Monroe says, yes, concept spatchcocking album. You're 100% correct. Eric Senich, I know you don't know a lot about this band, but you ranked In and Out number 10. Tell us why.
Hey, I'm more of a Rush fan.
I know,
Chaz?
yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, that's right. This is the socially conscious Sammy. Come on. I love it though. The stop and start and Alex's drums on this whole album, kick ass. But it's on this track too. And right before the solo, you get that little doo 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 doo. Wow. That's just badass right there. So that's worth the price of admission for me. So yeah. Where did I ranked it at? What did I have it at?
You had this at 10.
I had it at
Just
10,
above
so.
Pleasure Dome.
Yeah. I actually had, yeah.
You put this
I actually
behind
had
Spanked,
really
though.
love- Yeah, I did.
Behind
I
the
should probably
spanked?
put it
You
higher.
put it
I
behind
should
the
have put it
spanked.
above spanked, to be honest with you. Can I change my voting?
Well, it's too late for
No.
that. No, I did up all the
Oh, it's
graphics
too late.
already.
We spank you on that.
Yeah.
No.
But no, I think
Spank.
I hear what Sean's saying, the kind of paint by numbers thing. But man, just listening to it, it's just fucking Eddie and Al kick ass on this track.
All right, Jasmine Taz, you get the final word on In and Out. You had this one ranked number 10.
Yeah, it seems like I was with that average population there, but putting it at bottom, dead last, I could buy that for $1 too. For me, this song was kind of a mishmash of sounds in a couple of the other much better songs on this record, so this one could have been left off. in my opinion, and they still would have covered the same ground musically, I think, and not been accused of having, a drop track on there that was kind of paint by numbers, because it really was just kind of lame. Yeah,
All right.
not a lot to it.
Well, Kevin Brown had this one ranked number 4. He says, absolute banger. Was in contention for my top 3, but I love Top of the World just that little more. Superb fills and a great solo on top of one of Sam's better lyrics. Let's go to the Bohost now. Bohost Darren. If you're wondering who ranked this one number 3 on their ballot, it was Bohost Darren. He says, why? This was always down near the bottom half for almost 30 years and would have remained there if not for the Collection 2 remasters. The bass now more present makes this a hell of a jam. Killer Sam vocal, love the lyrics as an adult, and could be the best background vocals on the album. So that's from Darren, and our Bohost Brent put In and Out number 10. He says, I like the sing a line, hear a riff alternating style to this one, but that's about where it ends for me. Could have been out of this album. All right, that was number 8, In and Out. Any guesses on number 7? We're just motoring right along here.
I have
Are we
no
just gonna
guesses
keep?
now.
We're gonna keep saying 316 until it pops up. Or?
I think it's 360.
Damn.
That's why I
Have
give
some
up.
faith.
Gotta be.
Yeah, you're
360.
going to be saying when it gets to number 1, but 7, Judgment Day.
Judgment Day, okay. Well, I tell you what,
Aw.
for all the people screaming in their podcast player right now or on YouTube saying 316, you got
Fuck.
it right. Yep. It did very well for an instrumental, though, I got to say.
Yeah, really.
Bullshit.
316 got 122 points. Its highest ranking,
Blasphemy.
2 people rank this as the best track on the record.
Wait,
I know
wait, Corey, how does this rank against the other instrumentals off the other albums that you've done so far?
It's
This
definitely
may
the
be
highest.
best one.
Good
Yeah,
question.
yeah, it is by far the highest. Number 7 out of 11 songs.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
definitely
All
the
right.
highest.
We just got that.
Yeah. Highest ranking, first overall by 2 people. One of them on the call here tonight. We'll get their comments for sure. 4 people ranked this last, though. Again, we have some people on the call who ranked this one last. Most votes had this tied for 6th and 7th. 5 votes for 6th, 5 votes for 7th. And we didn't have an audience ranking on this one because they don't rank the instrumentals. So 316, 122 points. I want to start with Sean McGinnity on this one because Sean McGinnity, you ranked this one number 1.
Fuck yeah. Of course I did.
Oh.
I mean, he wrote this song for his kid. As you guys know, I'm a dad. I love my kids to fucking death. He wrote a song for his kid. Right away, that gives it top marks. Secondly, I remember him playing this a million times on tour. You'd see all these live footages during his solo. He'd play this before it actually made the album.
Live
He
Without
played.
Annette.
I think he even played it during the Live Without Annette Funicello concert. And it's him. It's usually when he sits down and he's playing, he's avoiding he's not looking at the crowd. He's looking at his guitar, and he's just at peace. It's when Eddie is the most at peace when he plays this piece. So for me, every time I've seen a concert of him playing this piece, I remember him as just like, this is the time when there's no one else in the band there. The audience is gone. He's just lost with him and his guitar, and it's his relationship with his guitar, if you want to look at it that way. And it's absolute beauty. There isn't anything else he's done that's as beautiful as this.
All right.
Period.
Todd, you're a guitar player. You had this one ranked number 8, though.
I totally agree with what Sean's saying. I mean, this was played, and I remember when he played this on Live Without Annette, like the solo, like just at the beginning of the solo, he just kind of sits down, lights a cigarette, starts playing. I mean, Sammy's out, as you know, through his interviews and stuff, that he was probably backstage, having intercourse.
Carnal knowledge.
Yeah, there you go.
While he's doing his solo. But I mean, I ranked it number 8 only because it's not truly a song, but I really love the way that it sounds and the melody, like just the way it makes you feel when he plays it.
Very well. In the chat, Laura Taylor, I don't know if you ever joined us on our shows before. Hi, Laura. Thank you for watching here tonight. She asked, didn't Wolfie's Bride walk down the aisle to this song? Wouldn't be surprised. I have no idea, but man, that'd be really, really cool if she did.
Sweet.
That's
man,
amazing,
this is now higher than number 1 for me.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Awesome tidbit. Thank you
Yes.
for that, Laura. And Chaz,
Wow.
you're the other person, Chaz, that had this one number 1.
Yeah, man, and thank you at least for letting Todd go after what friggin' Sean said, because how can I follow that? He said everything about this song. We are just so aligned. I mean, the thing that gets me is not only how it makes you feel just listening to it, and like you said, Live Without Annette Bening, that movie. You watch that, and the joy that he has just sitting there playing it, right, and just seeing him at total peace. And the bottom line is that it's him, it's his guitar and his son, right? So it's just like how intimate and just you know just crystal of everything that he was kind of musically, and think about too where he was playing this song. He was playing it for the baby in the womb, and he was playing it for the little baby when it come out. I mean, so that just come on, and this
I
it's
love you,
just
Chaz.
elevated. Right on, brother.
Yeah,
Mwah.
and I got to give total props to Sean, because I'm a father as well, and this just feels like love for a child coming
Yes.
through on this. So I gave it a solid 6, and it's one of my favorite instrumentals actually. You got
Solid 6.
Eruption, Spanish Fly, 360. Like it doesn't get any better than that for me. But Mark Meyer, you don't have kids, you have cats,
No.
and you're a thief of joy. You put this last.
Oh,
I did. And
wow! What the fuck?
I put
Oh,
it
Mark.
last, and as I told
Ooh.
Corey, the only reason it's placed last is because it's the
Hey.
instrumental track, and
My soul is black.
and that it doesn't. I mean, a lot of times Van Halen is they do put forth an instrumental track that gets the conversation stirring. Am I right? But I just didn't feel like, for me personally, again, if I were a father, maybe I would feel differently, but I'm not, or I'm a cat dad. And for me personally, this one didn't really stand
That's
up
it.
against something to the likes of Eruption or Spanish Fly or something. Just to me, because I don't have that emotional connection to it. I appreciate it, and once again, there are no bad songs on this album. So the only reason it's the last on my list, to be clear, is because it's the instrumental version, and or it's the instrumental song, and doesn't really add more I don't know, it's not that it doesn't add anything to the album itself, because I mean it does in its own way, but just it doesn't hit the same way for me. That's the only reason it's last.
Get a dog, Mark. Get a dog.
We had dogs, they are not with us anymore.
Yes.
See, you need a dog back in your life. The whole song would change completely.
I mean, probably.
All right. I'm just going to go to the chat real quick. Connor Burton joining us. Hi, Connor. New patron asks, why isn't there a super chat option? Because I don't know how to do that. But if you want to throw me some shekels and just send me some money, I'll hook you up.
Some new level. There you go.
I am raising money to get VIP for the Extreme concert happening in Regina, Saskatchewan. I'm gonna wear my Apologies to Gary T-shirt, and he's gonna fucking see it, and he's gonna wonder what the hell it's all about. So that's gonna happen. So if
Hey,
you want to
what
send
the
me some
fuck is that shirt there?
I'm going to ask Todd right now. Todd, are we going to go see Extreme or what?
The
Is it
answer is
coming here
hell
too?
yes. Yes.
I don't
Extreme and
know.
Living Color are coming to Winnipeg.
We probably could
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
You gotta go see
All right.
that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
living
Okay, getting
color.
tickets in.
Oh,
I've already got my
wow.
tickets for the show. I'm just I'm saving some money now for the VIP. I want Gary to see me in my shirt. Part of the VIP
Oh my
is
God.
you get a picture with the band during sound check. So everybody who
hell
buys
yeah.
the VIP for
Right.
Regina is going to get
Shit.
me in their picture wearing the
Hot
Apologies
damn.
to Gary T-shirt.
Oh my
Hey,
god,
Corey.
yes.
Hot
Please,
damn.
everyone wear the
Have your-
shirt.
Corey, have your phone with you. When he asks you about the shirt, 1 sec. Bring your phone up. Fucking live stream on your YouTube channel.
You got it,
Because we
buddy.
want to see this fucking shit.
You got
Yeah.
it, buddy. It's happening. All right, let's get back to 316. Ryan Powell, you had this one ranked number 7.
Yeah, and it's unusual for an instrumental to beat out so many other really great tracks, and this one did. I couldn't put it as high as everybody else, even though it does have special meaning to me as well. I was actually thinking back to, I was trying to figure out which tour it was. I want to say it might have been as early as the 2004 tour, where Eddie started into a solo, and he started with 316 like a lot of times he normally does. And then at some point, he lifts his hands up off the guitar, and 316 is still playing. And at that point, Wolfie walks on the stage, and he'd been playing it the whole time. And then Eddie starts soloing over it while
Oh,
he's
shit.
Oh,
playing
that's
it. It was-
amazing.
it was
Kidding me?
That's awesome.
Wow,
phenomenal
rip my
moment.
heart out.
Oh,
That's
Wow.
incredible.
it was such a great stagecraft that like he was just playing and all of a sudden he just lifts his hands up and it's still playing and just and then he kind of walks out, and to hear Eddie solo over it, like that was a completely new level to the song. So I really love it. I just couldn't rank it higher than others, although this is one of the top ranked instrumentals for me.
Well, good luck following that, Michael Griffin. You had this one ranked number 9.
Can people please stop calling it 316? It's 316. I mean, I've heard so many people call it 316, but I mean, it really.
I say both.
That's the Stone Cold
It's March
thing, isn't it?
16th.
It's his birthday, right?
It's actually, yeah.
911.
Stone Cold told you.
My view is a lot like Mark. I'm not a father either. I do have a dog, so I have a dog and a cat, and so that I don't have the father feeling really with the song, but I do have. It's very, if you're worked up over something and you put this on, it's very calming and soothing and kind of eases you back down. I mean, it's fantastic for what it is. I had it 9, so there's no criticism of it at all. You guys kind of said it best, but it's a very good instrumental.
Eric Senate, you had this one number 8.
I had it at 8, but it's still just a beautiful piece. And I still remember the original version on the Live Without a Net show, and it's like a plugged-in version because Alex is playing a little bit behind it, and it's just that softer side of Eddie. And I mean, I have children all over the state of Connecticut, some parts of Massachusetts, and New York, so I really connect with this.
I got an email, by the way. Eric, we got
make
to
sure
talk
I
about
send
this
out
off
cards
air.
every year. I send out birthday cards every year. Okay, it may not be
Well,
on
you
time.
missed one.
Yeah,
You missed one.
Dollar
called
bill
me.
here and there. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God! And the podcast will
Throw a
rock,
dollar bill
bringing
on the
families
card,
together.
Happy birthday, kid.
Oh my goodness! I wasn't expecting that here tonight. I thought we might make a love connection. I didn't think we were going to do a Maury Povich, "You're the Father" type segment. But holy cow! Bo host Darren had this one ranked number 6. He says, "Electrify it or release the Live Without a Net version, then it's way higher." I don't know about electrifying it. I kind of like that it's acoustic. I think it just kind of feels like it means a little bit more. But Bo host Brent had it ranked last. He says, "Truly a very beautiful piece of music and very personal for Eddie Van Halen, but it's not a song." I agree with Darren's comment on this one. And Kevin Brown, I don't even know why I read his comments. He couldn't even bother to be here. He's playing pool. Bastard. But yeah, this one ranked, geez, pretty high, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, number 6 for him. He says, quote, "A beautiful piece of guitar work from Ed and a lovely sentiment behind it. What's not to love?" All right, so that was 316 coming in.
It's
at
a really
7.
restrained piece on the guitar for him because that's the same guitar that produces all the other sounds, right? So it's just the way he's holding it and playing it, his tone, right?
Mm-hmm.
That to me is also one other piece that I wanted to throw in before that just makes it so special.
All right,
for what it's worth.
It's not the guitar, it's Eddie. Every time.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's him.
It's all you can always hear him regardless of what he's playing. Just genius.
Well, now we're kind of getting into the end of the middle section of the tracks here. Just to recap, if anyone's joining us late, number 11 was Spanked, obviously. Number 10, Man on a Mission. Number 9, Pleasure Dome. Number 8, In and Out. Number 7 was 316. Any guesses on number 6? What ranked number 6 with 170 points?
Likely
Dream is
Judgment
Over.
Day
Dream is
or Dream is Over. Yeah.
So we got one vote. Judgment Day, Dream is Over. A couple people.
Yeah,
Anybody else
I
want?
would say Judgment Day probably.
Okay.
Right now.
Oh, right now. You're thinking right now is that low? That's interesting. And I kind of thought along Eric Sanich's line that maybe right now wouldn't do so well. But I tell you what, it's this one here. Hey, man, wake up. Oh, yeah. It's the song you hear every week if we don't like a track on And the Podcast Will Rock. It's Dream Another Dream. This dream is over. Total 170 points. 3 people ranked this as their favorite song on For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. 3 people also said this was the 9th ranked song. That was its lowest ranking on our ballots. Most people voted it 7th, 4 people. It was very, very all over the map on The Dream is Over. Most votes you'll find, it's usually 6 or 7 people. On this one here, only 4, because it got a lot of votes all over the place. The audience ranking on this one was 6th. The Dream is Over Mark Meyer, I know you're kind of a fan of this one. You had this one ranked number 7, though.
Yeah, it did. It was another one, kind of like In and Out, where I couldn't put it in my top 5, but it's still, a great track. And then In and Out, I thought was just better. So that's just where it fell in line. Not really anything much more than that. I really enjoy this song a lot.
Me too. And actually, the top 5 songs on this album for me are really, really close. I had this one ranked number 4. I'm a big fan of The Dream Is Over. Ryan Powell, you had The Dream Is Over number 2.
Yeah, it actually surprised me a little bit when I was going through those like by a hair rankings back and forth with some other tracks. But really, those hits at the beginning, I love the aggression in this song, and yet it balances just like humans being. It balances perfectly with a beautiful soaring melody for the chorus. And really, when it comes back to those hits and Eddie soloing over it, that's just, I think that put it over the top for all of those really, really tight rankings in the top 5 or 6.
Well said. Connor Burton in the chat says, would love to hear this on the Fair Warning guitar tone. That'd be pretty fucking cool. I mentioned that a few people had this one ranked number 1. One of them is fan favorite Kelsey. She was going to try and beer tonight. She couldn't make it. Pretty girl like her probably had better things to do. I'm shocked that she would, but yeah. Jeff Brewer also had this one at number 1, and our good buddy Todd McGinnity had this one number 1 as well.
Yeah, it's more reminiscent of the early Van Halen, I found. Everything changes back to Sammy once he starts the chorus. So once the chorus, it kind of changes a little bit, and the solo is very juicy.
Very juicy. Say that again in your sexy voice, Todd.
Juicy.
Oh my goodness. Erections everywhere.
Sexiest man in podcasting.
Oh, I hear the title is in contention.
Yeah, take that, Scott Haskin.
You're gonna have to do one every year. Sexiest man 2024.
It's gonna be a pageant.
Voting.
It's gonna be a pageant. There he is, sexiest man in podcasting.
You gotta do it. And he gets
All right.
the T-shirt.
Before I fucking sing again, let's go to Michael Griffith, number 4 on your ballot.
Yeah, I like this song. And this is where some talking lyrics work. In the very beginning, that whole thing works, and then in concert he expands on it, or Sam does. But it's a good song. I love the mentioned tone. If it was in the fair warning tone, I like Ed's tone here. It's really good throughout the song, and it's a very solid song. Good lyrics. Catchy. It's cool.
It is very cool. Sean McGinnity, you had this one ranked in number 7.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. But I think from 7 down, there's a bit more of a crunch going on for just things are just the hair above the other one. I do like this song.
Yes.
My hair, yeah. So I mean, it's not of the 6 songs before I like a little bit better. Hair by hair or inch by inch or, whatever, however you want to call it. But no, I mean, it's a fantastic song. And this song has moved up the ranking to 7 for me, and it probably will keep climbing. Probably thanks to the show.
Awesome. Eric Senich, are you still there? Number 6?
Still here. Yeah, headed to number 6. Just a killer chorus with the harmonies. That's what really makes the song, and I like the lyrics, and one of the best solos on the album. So getting up to the best of the best on the album now.
Yep, but Chaz Mataz had this one ranked near the bottom. You're one of the 3 people that ranked this one number 9.
Son of a bitch.
We are divergent this evening. Whereas with Sean Arama over there, we're just chummy. We've been agreeing on almost everything. So for this one though, for me, it's I like playing the little riff that's in there, but for the most part, this is and I don't know, was this a single?
Yeah.
Sounds like it's got single written all over it.
Yeah, it was a single.
Yeah,
One of the last ones.
Yeah, so for me, like a real commercial effort. And for me, generally during the Van Hagar era, there were more, for me, when they were deliberately trying to make a radio hit, it was a miss more than a hit with me. But some of them were real big hits with me. No, regardless, all due respect to Sammy, but this one just wasn't, there for me because there's so many other great songs on this record. And again, once we got past Pleasure Dome, it was really just like, oh shit, how do I stack these? Okay, somebody's got to come in at the bottom. So that's all it is.
All right. Well, Kevin Brown had this one ranked number 10. He says, super solid album track, no frills and no pyrotechnics, really, but it does the job. Let's go to the Bo-host now. Bo-host Darren, The Dream Is Over, number 2 for him. Only second because Runaround exists. So, spoiler alert for what he's going to vote number 1. This was a tough one since Runaround and this tune are so neck and neck for him. So, let's go now to Brent. By the way, the Bo-host split up their ballots this time. Normally they vote together, but they fought a lot, apparently. We may have broken up the show, actually, because they fought so much about For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Darren had it number 2. Brent had it number 4. He says, precursor to Don't Tell Me from Balance. It's an opposite to it's an opposite to Expect View, maybe even the sequel to Dreams from 5150, while also the precursor to Don't Tell Me. Flat Stone Cold Lied To. Loves that lyric.
I think they need to debate this on their show so we
Yes.
can understand their ranking and everything. I think that'd make a great episode.
I concur.
They just had Sammy's sister on
Again,
She was
yeah,
back on.
for the second
Good
time.
day.
But yeah, this was the 6th and final single
Yes.
from the album.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the 6th single. So it's like, okay, the last one to put it out. Yeah.
Sammy has a sister.
I guess it's because everything else did so well, right? I mean, that's just the bottom line. There were just so many other great songs on this record.
There you go. Yeah.
You got to rewind for Todd. He got all confused with the sister thing.
Todd's just realizing Sammy has a sister.
Whoa.
Todd just heard sister and he got all horny. Who has a
He's
sister?
like, hey, do you see I play guitar?
Check out my axes behind me, baby.
No, I didn't realize you had a sister.
Yeah, he's he has a brother. I think he has like 2 sisters and a brother, 2 brothers and a sister. I gotta look.
Are they into music too, or are they just?
No. Velma's not. She is what is she? She has her own YouTube channel. I want to say she's not a cook, but she's not a musician. No other musicians in the family.
Does she have the curly hair like Sammy's got? Or?
No, she looks different. She looks different.
Roth's got a sister, right?
Super positive, upbeat.
Roth's got a sister too.
Yeah, Roth has
got
a sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
Very
2
close with his sister.
Never
Two
hear about
sisters.
any of this
Ah,
stuff.
2.
Poor Todd's getting all riled up here. We're talking about sisters.
Oh,
He's like, oh, he's got
Oh,
2 sisters.
Do any of you guys have sisters?
I
Can see
wait,
some
I have
pictures?
a bookmark here. Hold on.
You know that I have a podcast and a wall of guitars.
Play Splat and Bone.
Yeah, Dave has a sister, Lisa, who, because of her, I got to meet Dave in New York.
Hot damn.
I remember
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah, my friend.
I just heard it
knew him.
recently.
But you're a Rush fan.
That's
It's too bad that they wasted that opportunity on a Rush
Right,
fan.
you're right.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
Hey, guess what, guys? Though we're in the top 5.
Nice.
Any guesses? What do you think was number 5? I can tell you it had 175 points, only 5 points more than The
5
Dream
has
is
gotta
over.
be Judgment.
Probably
Well,
Judgment
I have
Day.
it higher, but I'm going to say Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
Yeah, I would go with that too.
top of the world.
Well, I tell you
Right now.
what, Todd McGinnity, you sexy motherfucker. Number 5 is Top of the World. This one kind of hurts me a little bit. I had it
Wow.
marked
That hurts
higher.
me a lot.
That's just bullshit.
Oh,
175 points.
Easter for Easter.
2 people had this one ranked number 1, but 2 people had this one ranked number 10. So right near the bottom. That's what hurt Top of the World. Most votes for this one was 3rd place. 7 people had this one ranked 3rd. The audience ranking, though, this is the number 1 album, or number 1 track on the album, according to the audience of our show.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
88% What Dreams Are Made Of. 12% The Dream Is Over, just beating out number 2. So Top of the World for the
Wow.
audience is number 1. For us, it's number 5. Mark and Meyer, you had Top of the World. Along with me, we agreed on this one. This is our 3rd best
Great.
track on the album.
at the very least top, the third in the top three, top of the world, or the top three, call it what you will. But five, I mean, at least it's in the top five, and five's not that far away. But I don't know, man. This is one of the heavy hitters from this album. Like, this is one of the memorable songs. Like, you're listening to the Fuck album when Top of the World hits, man. It's just like, it's iconic. And five is fine, but I don't understand how you put this at number 10. I don't know who the hell voted for that. That's insane.
I'll meet you in the parking lot later.
Exactly.
All right, we're doing this.
Scott Monroe in the chat was
Putting my
number
hair back.
5, as was Tar Armbruster. So they're right along line here. I had it number 3. Like I mentioned, we had a couple people that had it number 1. Scott Monroe, if you're still in the chat. I thought you had it number 1, actually, Scott. He's saying number 5 for me right now. Don't at me. Oh, you're guessing it was right now. Okay. Yeah, because you had it number 5. You had this one number 1, Scott. So Jeff Brewer, no, sorry. Greg Zito also had this one as the number 1 song on the record. Let's go to Eric Senich. Top of the World, you had number 3.
Yeah, number 3. This is like classic Sammy era Van Halen, just feel good song. The instant I heard it, I remember I got the cassette, and it's the last track on the album. 316 ends, and that riff. I was like, oh fuck, this is a hit. It's just it's one of my all-time favorite Sammy era songs. In fact, I know guys who hate every song from the Sammy era. They're just total Dave diehards, and like, this is the one song they like.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. The bias in this audience is clearly a Dave audience, and this is the number 1 song off of this record.
I don't know. I guess maybe Dave fans like this.
Real? Yeah. Well, clearly it resonates. That's what I was sitting here scratching my head about. Like, what the fuck? Right? Well, what, Pound Cake? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Some heavy tracks on this record.
Eric, you had this one number 3, correct?
I had it at 3. That means there are 2 songs I think are even better than this. But yeah, this is cool. The live version that they played, the live video version, is so cool. At the end, you just feel that energy of what a Van Halen show was like. Like that bombastic ending to it. It's just fucking, yeah, man. It brings you back to those good times seeing that band live.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Griffin, you had it number 5.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing about this band is the feel good music, and Roth had it, and Sam has it, and this is one of those songs. I mean, you're in a rotten mood, you put Top of the World on, and you're instantly not in a rotten mood anymore. And it's an inspirational song. It's a great song, and I know everyone knows this, but the intro of this is the outro of Jump, so there's kind of your Roth connection there, and it would have been cool if they kind of continued Jump, which was the intent, I think, in the beginning. But it's a great song.
What's cool is in the US Festival, too, you hear him play it at the end of Dance the Night Away, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the end of tail end of that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chaz, this was pretty low for you, number 8.
Yeah, it's just one that I don't play a lot. So love it as a song. It's a great song. I'm gonna meet you in the parking lot after. After the podcast.
I'm coming for you, Chad.
Coming for fisticuffs.
Yeah,
fisticuffs there, Mister. Me and
Jack
the
Johnson
Avatar
and Tom
are coming
O'Leary
out
is
for
waiting
you.
right here.
But it's again, it's a
No
great
YYZ,
song.
I get it.
It is Zed. Everywhere else in the fucking world, it's Zed. Come on, McGinnity boys, tell me. Back me up on
YYZ,
this.
come on, fucker.
It's YYZ.
Come on.
It's Z.
Oh, Chaz
you
making no
Americans,
friends
you
in the
say
chat.
Z.
Thief of Joy, says Tom. He's exactly right.
No, it's a great song. It's just I don't play it much, so it's got to fall somewhere.
Well, Todd McGinnity, you had this one number 5.
Yeah, I mean, Top of the World it's got a really good groove. A lot of I don't think Eddie plays a lot of wah in his solos and his songs, but this one here, he's got it at the beginning. He's got it during his just before the solo. It's got a lot
Later years he was using the wah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So and then he had a lot of overdubs with 2 guitars and stuff. So it's good that Sammy was there, so he can actually add his flavor to it.
Well,
So yeah, that's how I had ranked.
Sean beginning to with the Sesame Street Fever background, looking like the Bee Gees there. You had this
Amen.
one. You had this one ranked a little bit lower. Top of the World was number 8 for you.
What?
Yeah, it's a good tune, but the pom poms, yay, we're standing on top of the world like this. I do like some of the feel good Van Halen songs, but they generally rank lower for me. To me, there's a lot of balls on this album, and this song is not one of them that has balls. It just has a feel good, yay, kind of thing going on.
Oh,
What's
I
wrong
mean,
with
it's
that?
not a
Yeah,
bad
right on,
song,
Sean. Right the fuck on. Yes.
but I mean,
Yes.
it's just I don't know. I wouldn't like another band would do a song like this and it'd be very pablum like. Van Halen does it way better than that. This is a great song. It's just there's way more ballsy songs on this album that really deserve to be ranked higher.
Why can't a song be funny?
Pablum,
Happy?
is that?
It's
what
because
is
you
the
live in
pablum?
Winnipeg, and Winnipeg is a shithole. That's it, isn't it?
Ooh.
Winnipeg is a shithole, yeah, of course.
Winnipeg and Moose Jaw, shitholes. Ryan
You
Powell,
like my top knot here, by the way?
it's looking really good. Yeah, you got the bird thing going on. Yeah. But Ryan Powell, you got this one ranked number 4.
Yeah, and this is right in the mix. My 2 through 6 are ridiculously tight and could probably be happy with any order of any of those. Top of the World is a great track. I love the optimism of it, but the breakdown as it gets to the solo, like it takes this really dark turn that I really enjoy, and gives it a lot of layers. And then kind of the dueling guitars to close out the solo, just kind of harmonizing with each other was a really great touch to it as well. So yeah, I have it 4. It fits pretty high up on the album ranking, and that makes sense to me.
All right. Well, Bohost Darren had Top of the World number 7. He says, love the riff, love the summertime feel. For me, it's pure pop metal with a great vocal, and Mikey again shines. I haven't really talked about Mikey a lot on this episode, but yeah, he's a standout on Top of the World. Bohost Darren had Top of the World at number 3. He says, some positive inspiration on an otherwise pretty heavy grunge era-like record. Ed's guitar is very high-pitched in the solo sections. It has a different sound. So he's a fan of that one too. Top of the World for Kevin Brown was actually number 3. He says, another major key pop masterpiece from Ed. Grossly underrated outside the fandom, I think. And I'll agree with him on that one. I think Top of the World at 5, Little Criminal for me. It ranked much higher for me. Both Mark and I had this one number 3. But that takes us now into the top 4. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at number 4. Anyone want to throw out a guess?
Gotta be Judgment Day, I would think.
Judgment Day, yeah.
It wasn't a single, right?
Nope. Don't believe so.
Surprised. Probably Run Around.
You have a pencil out, Mark. Are you actually like what are you doing?
Just being me, dude.
He's got his pencil.
Something to write on, man.
Something to write on, man.
I don't feel tardy.
Mark especially is not going to like this one.
Oh God.
Number 4, right
Really?
now.
Oh, you're.
Okay, I'm very surprised.
Now I am gonna meet some of y'all in the parking lot.
196 points. I tell you right now, the difference between number 4 and number 3, 1 point. Right now had 196. The number 3 song had 197. 5 people had this ranked as number 1. 3 people had this ranked as the 9th best song on For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Most people had this ranked 2nd. 6 people had it ranked 2nd. The audience ranked this one 4th. But the fact that right now, coming in at number 4, big surprise for me. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Right Now. I had this one number 8. So I'm one of the reasons why it's a little bit lower. But Mark Meyer, this was your number 1 song on the record.
Yeah, it is. The moment I heard it, I fell in love with it in a way that I can't describe to you. Whether it was the mysterious, playful, piano intro to it, the with the thud of the bass, the just coming in, and it just gets you so hyped. That's why at every live sporting event you go to, you're likely going to hear this song, because it's hype. It's what Right Now is. Right Now means hype. And it's it's just an amazing track, and it just, for me, it is kind of the anthem for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, at least to me, and that's just because of how it affects me and how I feel about it. I don't, even if you don't agree with that assessment, even if you don't think it's the best effort on this album, putting it outside the top 5 seems wrong to me, but that's just me.
Well, I had it 8, so I'm wrong.
You son of a bitch. Why would you do it?
But Tom Armbruster agrees with you. You're in solidarity with him. He actually screams, "Can we have a civilization, people?"
Seriously, we live in a society. You're killing it, Corey.
Ryan Powell, though, is on Team Mark. He had this one number 1 as well.
My man.
Yeah, and I have to be really careful because I could talk a really long time about this song. Everything Mark said is true. I'll key in on just some of the syncopations between the piano and Al's cymbal work in the beginning. There is just perfect. How they're just oscillating in different, in almost different time signatures, and yet it still lines up. The message, the lyrics. These are some of Sammy's stronger lyrics that taking a serious bent rather than just partying or sex or aliens or whatever else. It actually has a very underrated Eddie solo. I think it's one of Eddie's best solos. It's not the most technical, but man, does it wail. And how he just kind of falls down and goes into double time, as he goes down the solo. But yeah, for me, I mean, I heard this and immediately fell in love with it. This was my entry point to Van Halen, and for a long time, I would just rewind and play this song over and over again, which is why I like Dream Is Over so much, because I would rewind a little bit too far and I'd hear that one and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it was a culture shock going from this to any other song, because yes, this is very different, but I learned to love all the different aspects of Van Halen as I went through the catalog. Just, yeah, I'll keep talking for a long time, so I'm just going to stop there and say it's an amazing song.
You know what? I don't really disagree with anything you're saying, Ryan. All I hear is Crystal Pepsi. Because if you're old enough to remember Crystal Pepsi, this was the theme song.
That was when I first heard it. And I asked my sister, who's the band who did that? I kid you not.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think some of the ranking, the lower ranking of this song has to do with the oversaturation of this song, the tie-in with the Crystal Clear Pepsi, the number 1 video on MTV where all the people who hated Van Halen suddenly liked Van Halen and suddenly were trying to be friends with us who were hardcore Van Halen fans. There was sort of a resistance to those people. Suddenly, the jocks that used to beat us up are suddenly putting their arm around us and saying, "Hey, Van Halen's cool. You beat me up last week." There was a lot of that going on with this song. So I think there's a resistance to this song somewhat because of that.
Wow.
Now, that said, Sean, you had this ranked 6th.
Yeah, it used to be ranked 11th for me, and it's been moving up every year. So I've got more appreciation for it. I can distance myself from the oversaturation of it and actually just listen to it. So it keeps moving up every year for me.
Now, Todd, you had this ranked number 9.
Yeah, I agree with Ryan when he's talking about the, especially when Alex is got his ride, like the cymbals going, but the whole thing, you kind of get really into it. But the only thing is it's been overplayed, and that's probably the only reason why I ranked it so low. Otherwise, it's a great song. But I mean, with any great song, when you listen to it so many times, especially if it's got a commercial or they've sold the rights to whatever, and it's been played so many times, it just kind of loses its luster over time. But it is a great song.
All right, Eric Senich, number 5.
Yeah, I have it at number 5, but I mean, this is an extremely important song for Van Halen in the '90s. I mean, this set them apart from the bands of the '80s, and it proved that they could roll over into the new decade, and it set them up for what could have been a huge decade, and that's what's so unfortunate about the way things end on that decade. I mean, it just turns to shit. But yeah, I mean, this song is just so important, and it's interesting because you guys talk about being overplayed. It wasn't a huge hit, really. It was just the video that really made it take off, and then the staying power. To this day, classic rock radio plays it over Top of the World, over Pound Cake. It's just one of those songs that it has an interesting shelf life to it, and I think it's going to be one of those songs from the Sammy era that's just going to be around long past when we're here, I think. So I mean, yeah, I have it at 5, only
Hey,
because I have
Corey,
other personal favorites, but
how many streams does right now have over everything else? It's got to be the highest
oh,
streamed on
I
this
can
album.
check right
Got to
now,
be.
Sean. I got, yeah, I
Well,
got,
I'm on YouTube Music right now,
okay,
and it is at 33 million, by
okay,
far the most on this record on YouTube Music. The next
all right.
closest is Pound Cake at 13 million.
Well, let's see Spotify. Let's see what they have
Wow.
for. Let's see Spotify. It's not in the top 4. Spotify has Ice Cream Man 1. Does this even make sense?
That doesn't make sense.
No, hold on. Let me. You know
It's
what?
not even on this album,
What
is
the
it?
hell's
No,
happening?
it should be little guitars, clearly.
Clearly.
Yeah.
All right,
Clearly,
Eric.
yeah.
Eric, you
I'm
work on
thinking
that.
the
Let's
desktop
get.
app.
We're gonna get Chaz's comments on right now. You had this
Yeah,
ranked number 5 as
I'm
well.
checking.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's an epic song. It's iconic, right? So, I mean, there's a couple, this to me, like there are a couple songs that are like the epitome of serious Van Halen. I think there are 2 songs in the entire catalog that are worth note, and it's Dreams and Right Now. Like, and so like, again, it had a big social impact. It really did, like Eric said, launch the band into really position them so well. I mean, hell, I remember stealing the treatment for ads that I was doing, selling magazines. We were stealing the treatment from the video, right, to do stuff. So I mean, it was everywhere. It's a great song. I don't, I've tried to actually play that riff on the piano, and it's really cool to actually try and get your fingers to do that if you don't really play piano very much. And I really like the song has legs. Vic Johnson with the Circle, they do a great rendition of this tune. Like in the past, like 5 years or so, there's a couple clips out there where they're kind of took it down, I think, a half step, and they've done a really great acoustic treatment of it too. So it's a great song. It's got legs. It's just for me, again, not one that I'm playing a whole lot.
All right. Well,
So
Michael Griffin, finish it off here for us. You had this one, I believe, number 6.
Yeah, I mean it's overplayed, but I really tried to not penalize it for being popular. Look, it did, like you guys said, it's a big cultural impact. They were MTV darlings. They won Video of the Year for this, and they were everywhere because of this song, and mainly the video, like you said. But I'll say this: let's give Mikey some credit. Here's where Mikey really shines on the bass and the background vocals.
Yep.
I mean, that's what everyone's singing when it's at the stadium that you're at, is Mikey's background vocals. So that's what kind of stuck, I think. And this is where he should get a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good point.
Scott Monroe in the chat says, fun fact, The Office wanted to use Right Now as a hype song for an episode, but they couldn't get
They
the
did.
rights and instead went with Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes, they did.
That's pretty cool. All right, let's real quick here go to our buddies, the Bow host here. Let's go to Darren. He had Right Now number 5. He says, epic tune, and over the years it goes up and down for me. I keep rediscovering it. Again, overplay has not as high, and although I love it, guitar or piano is how I like my Van Halen. Brent says Right Now for him is number 2. Why? Goosebumps every time. The end. That's all he has to say about that one. Right Now is also number 2 for Kevin Brown. He says, crazy that this rated below so many fairly average DLR era tracks. A superb composition doesn't start on the 1, instantly recognizable piano line. Come on. Is kind of what he says there. So that's number 4 Right Now. And I'm going to take a quick bathroom break so you guys just talk amongst yourselves.
Do it.
well, actually, okay. Let me give you guys this is the stats on Right Now on Spotify. So
All right.
so it's at number 12, 45, almost 46 million streams.
Okay, that's what I was
uh,
guessing.
Average daily 21 million.
A
No,
day?
no,
No.
sorry, 21,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
21,000 a day, 45 million total. But the number 1 jumped 862 million.
Yeah. It's
Number 2
fucking
is
huge.
Panama, which is far behind. Panama's at 382 mil.
Oh,
Running with the
geez.
Devil, 233. Hot
They
for
don't have a
Teacher.
billion on there.
No. Hot for Teachers 180 million. Ain't Talking About Love 167.
Okay,
You
hang on
Really
a
Got
second.
Me.
How does Adam Levine have 1 billion downloads for any fucking song, and Van
Dude,
Halen doesn't have
oh,
one?
Dude,
it's
dude.
humbling, man. When on Ultimate Catalog Clash they do that little bit at the end where they're guessing the big four, and they're going through and guessing based on Spotify rankings. It's fucking wow, amazing where Van Halen when he brings them up where they sit in the rankings. Just
There's
there's
not
a
enough.
lot to.
There's not enough. And not to slam on Al or those guys, but there's just the logo's not out there enough. It's not in enough T-shirts. It's not. It's just not. It's not the way Queen is. Brian May and Roger Taylor work the Queen
They are working it.
name. That's just the reality. Is that there's just people that just don't care, don't even know. Younger generation that don't even know who they are. Pisses me off.
Right. Well, to
Yeah.
your point, right? Like, I mean,
Oh,
look at the world tour the Queen's on right now, man. They're selling out massive arenas all over the world.
I mean, how many
You know?
times you go to whatever, Walmart or wherever, you see AC/DC shirts, you see Zeppelin
Yeah.
shirts, you see Pink
Guns N'
Floyd shirts,
Roses. Yeah.
Doors,
Misfits,
Roses,
Ramones.
Metallica, no Van Halens.
No
Well,
AC. I don't see AC out there, and I'm not talking Alice in Chains. And I dare any one of you to say the name of that other band.
I mean, I'm seeing kids wearing Nirvana shirts, dude. They weren't even fucking born,
Yeah.
when Nirvana was
Oh,
around. But that's just the legacy. That's up to, to Alex and Wolf to decide. I mean, some of their songs are in movies, some are in commercials. That's cool. But
Do you think Wolfie 10 years from now, he's got, like, I don't know, 8 or 10 albums out? Do you think he could be as much of a cultural icon? Because I think he's a bit more savvy, a bit more involved. I mean, he's on Twitter all the time. He's on the social media all the time. Do you think he could potentially get to that level of being a billion streamer with his stuff?
I mean, I think he has the talent to, but realistically, just rock is not what resonates, and
exactly.
yeah. The
it's
audience isn't
going
there.
to,
It's
unfortunately.
not it's not his fault, It's
Yeah,
not
right.
anything that he's doing wrong.
It's a different time.
I mean, it really is depressing. I mean, there's no danger. There's no, like, the younger generation doesn't seem to give a shit. Like, rock and roll is all about, like, defiance and going up against the society's rules and it's just none of that shit. It's even here in Connecticut, we have a venue that every summer used to be jammed with rock bands, and it's all fucking country and hip hop, and it's just makes me want to just fucking hang myself.
Now,
When
did
you're
you
saying
There's
hip
no
hop,
rock and
are you?
roll.
Is
I mean,
it
I'm
like?
a fan of listen. I'm a fan of Tupac and Biggie and old school rap, and I Post Malone. To
What?
me, Post Malone is fucking awesome. But I'm just saying, where's the rock? Like,
But
where's
they are
where's the
actually pushing boundaries musically, though. They're not just, what do you guys want to hear? Okay, I'll do exactly that. They're not doing that. They're actually creating their own things. Whether you like the music or not, you got to give them kudos to at least trying to break things and not
the
conform.
country or hip hop or
No, I'm talking about like Post Malone and people like
Oh,
that.
he's
What
Like
about
they're at
Limp
least
Bizkit, man?
But see, the
fucking
thing
Limp
with
Bizkit.
Post Malone, what's cool is he's got rock and roll roots. Like
sure he does.
like
Yeah.
I interviewed the guitarist for Blind Melon, Christopher Thorne. He's got his own studio, and he said Post used his studio once, and he told me a story that was so cool. He said the first time I met Post, he walked in and he saw one of my guitars in the corner of the room, and Post says to me, he's like, can I pick that up and play? And Chris Thorne's like, yeah, man, go ahead. He picks it up and he's playing fucking Zeppelin,
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, but like he's just like, just fucking around playing all classic rock shit.
Yeah.
So he.
You know what else he
he's-
played, Eric? This is a little known fact, but he picked up the guitar and he played this.
What are we hearing? I'm not hearing anything that you're playing.
I'm waiting for
Oh.
beautiful girls. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm here for.
Right, Eric. I played a little up for breakfast, Eric.
And if Todd and I go see Extreme, I'm going to be Todd. Maybe we should make a banner that says "Beautiful Girls" on it. We'll hold it up for Extreme to play.
Hey,
Yes, they haven't
by
been
the
doing that
way-
one live, so yeah, make the banner. Absolutely.
Rest in peace to Dickie Betts, man. One of the
Yes,
fucking
absolutely.
rookies.
Lost a big one this week, didn't
Oh.
we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear though that Wolfie's going to get his own behind the music on Paramount Plus? They announced it today.
I want to put that up
What?
on the news list. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I got to put
Be
that up.
some fucking footage from 5150, I'm sure. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
See what he's done with the place.
Bet you he
You
cleaned
guys got
it.
to see that. There's a great Q&A with Mike Anthony. We put up on the desk, and it's like tons of Van Halen questions. He was
I
saying,
can't get off that other video you guys posted the other day.
the
With
violinist.
the violin. Sorry,
That's
where
amazing.
my browser's stuck on that right now.
Mikey was saying that on that first album, they had songs that were like 10 minutes long. You know, that's how green they were. Like Temple Ninjas was like, okay, wait a minute, we don't need 7 verses. And he was laughing. He's like, yeah, man, we were just fucking making whatever music we wanted to make, and the songs were super long, and he had a lot of good stuff in there. He says he hasn't talked to Dave in years, but he'd be open to jamming with him. And there's another thing he talked. Oh, he's saying that this tour they're hoping to take the Sammy tour to Europe, and I mean, it's doing really well.
Everyone got their tickets for the Sammy Hagar Best of All Worlds tour. I know I got mine for Toronto. I'm meeting up with the Bow Host in Toronto, Ontario. Anybody else?
I'm looking to see if there's a date in Winnipeg. I haven't seen it.
There's not. Yet. No, Toronto's the only Canadian date, I believe.
Fuck off. Pisses me off.
Like
there's no Van Halen. There's no Van Halen fans in Canada, by the way. No, of course there is.
No.
We talk about the harmonies all the time. Like they were asking about their approach to harmonies. Did they work songs around the harmonies? He's like, no, but we're always looking for a place to put the harmonies in. Like, where can we put them?
Well, you know where they put them? In our number 3 song. Let's get back to the countdown here, shall we?
Wait, are we doing an album review? Okay.
I kind of feel like Casey Kasem. Let's get back to the countdown. Eric Sinich has a dedication for Todd McGinnity.
That's right.
Your silky smooth voice.
His sultry voice.
Puts the cream in my coffee. And you know what else does it?
Oh.
Track number 3. Oh, this hurts my soul. This was my number 1. Runaround comes in at number 3. 197 points. Just above right now. It was 1 point ahead. Ranked number 1 on 3 ballots, including my own. Its lowest ranking was 7th. 2 people ranked this the 7th best track on the record. The most votes it got was 5th. The audience ranking also had this one at number 2. It comes in at number 3. It is my favorite song. I get to listen to it every week when doing this show, and I have for 100 and some odd episodes now. Whenever we spin the wheel, we play a little runaround. I love the video. I love Sammy's performance, his best vocal performance on this record, I think, by far. And he's had a lot of great moments on this record. I think his best vocals are on this record here, though. The band is fucking on fire. Runaround, to me, is the best track on For Unlawful. Mark Meyer, for you, this one was number 4.
Yep, number 4. I love this song. It's just didn't make the top 3, but it is the top 5 because it just felt right to me. Runaround's great. The only reason it's number 4 really is because the top 3 are the top 3, and nothing was going to beat them for me. So, yep, there you go.
Oh, listen to this. Oh, that's good shit. I found God listening to fucking Runaround. Ryan Powell, you had this one ranked number 5.
Yeah, and like I said, the 2 through 6 for me was super tight. I could put this at number 2 and be happy with it, and put it at number 6 and be happy with it because there's so many like neck and neck tracks. This one, I think you're right. I think this has Semi's best performance on this album. It's just really loose, and he really belted out, and super catchy. It was a great music video. I love the spinning.
That's amazing. I love the spinning stage. Oh, that's the fucking best.
Especially when somebody falls over towards the end, if I remember right. And yeah, no, nothing bad to say about this. Just had to put it somewhere, and there's so many tight tracks, and I had to put them over it.
Fair enough. Connor Burton calling out the stank on this song. It's everywhere. Tom Rumbrester pointing out how wrong he is to put it 6th. Scott Monroe says he struggled between Runaround and Top of the World for number 1. And I could see that. I actually really dig Top of the World, too. To me, Runaround is peak tone of the fuck album. Todd McGinnity. Oh, listen to that solo. Come on. You had this one number 7.
It's I mean it's not one of their best songs.
Shut up! I'm muting you. Where's the mute?
Okay, that's
Come
it.
on.
He's done. Get him out. Get him out. Throw him out.
You know, for Van Halen,
Get the
this
bouncer.
is what I would call a vanilla song. This is
on.
their
Oh
they're
my
kind
God.
Wow.
Oh man,
Sean,
it's hard
talk.
enough.
Yes, yours, brother.
I mean,
I'm
it's,
fucking stayed away from this.
Damn.
but it's like, you know, if you said Van Halen, Sammy Hagar, this is the song. This is kind of their vanilla song. It doesn't. I mean, it has some great stuff on it, but it's not as intricate as some of their other songs.
That sultry voice, I just can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Sexiest man in podcasting?
I hate you right now, but I'll forgive
you
you.
make the call.
Mark, do we go to you? What are your thoughts on Run Around? Number 4 on your ballot.
You already went to me, yeah.
All right. Chaz, you had this one, number 3.
Yeah, man, come on. Everything was said before. The fucking video was iconic. The song is a lot of fun. Great tone. I mean, to me, this was, and you know, so we're getting to the top of the list here where I enjoyed playing this a whole hell of a lot as a guitar player. Just can't get enough of it, especially on my little Ernie ball. It's just, you know, you just feel like Eddie at that time. You know, it's just very cool.
I like this comment in the chat. Brad Man Can, thanks for joining us, by the way. Depending on your mood or level of drunkenness, 2 through 7. Yeah, I get
Very
it.
true.
Yeah. Scott Monroe asks, is it stock? The answer is fuck no. Eric Stanich, you had this one ranked number 4.
Boy, yeah, stock it is not. I mean, all the little intricate parts throughout this song are just so great. And this is where Alex does that thing of like, it's like you don't know where he's going with it. He's like, dum, ba, dum, ba, dum, ba. It's just fucking, it just owns it. And that solo and the fucking chorus, it's just, and we haven't mentioned, you know, because Eddie's such a great rhythm guitarist, like what he's doing on the rhythm guitar throughout the song, just the little things he does. It's just fucking great, man.
It's so fun to play. It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Sammy's vocals are just killer.
One of the best hard stops in music, too. Only
Yes.
she owns it. Bang.
Yes.
Here we go. Oh, come on. Come on. You're all fucking wrong who voted
Oh,
this
yeah.
any lower than 3. Sean McGinnity, you didn't vote at 3. You voted at 5.
I
Why
hear they
are
were
you
gonna call
wrong?
it reach around at first, but that's
Oh shit! The Vince Lombardi truck stop.
And then there would have been an alien. And then
Yeah, true enough. True enough.
would have
But
ruined
listen,
the
Sammy,
song.
enough. All right.
No, this
With
one's 5
alien
for
probes.
this one is 5 for me because the first
An
4
alien
are
reach
immutable, cannot be changed. My top 4
E.T..
are not going to change for anything.
Okay, Michael Griffith, you had this one ranked pretty high. I believe it was number 3 on your ballot, wasn't it?
Number 3, yeah. I think this is the catchiest song of the Sammy era. I mean, it is just, the hooks are great. I love this song. And the lyrics are true, because when this came out, I was in high school, and we would then pass this song, oh, she's giving me the runaround, she's giving me the runaround. We would say that all the time after the song came out. So lyrics kind of went into the culture. So it's a great song. And then, Corey, like you said, I mean, I still listen to it now. It still sounds good, still holds up.
Oh, Sammy is so good on this track. Like, this is just peak Sammy Hagar Van Halen. Jeff Brewer, joining us in the chat, finally had some tech issues. He's watching right now. Says he couldn't remember if you put it 2 or 3. You had it 2, actually, buddy. But he's shocked that Right Now finished as high as it did. He had Right Now at number 8. So fill him in the chat. We're not going to go back and talk about Right Now. But Jeff Brewer pointed out that stock Van Halen is still pretty fucking impressive. He's absolutely right. Let's go now to...
Does anybody catch Dude Looks Like a Lady parallels with the chorus on this? Only like backwards structure.
Just
structure-wise,
yeah.
structure-wise,
Like,
sure, yeah.
So you have like the run, like round, following that beginning of the chorus here, and the kind of the similar thing at Dude Looks Like a Lady starts before he comes in with that melody.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yep,
you can hear it.
Well, not to trash on Dave, but on a little leaning
Fuck
enough.
you, Chaz.
Last call is Walk This Way. You guys
Put
know
that
Last
finger
Call
away.
from a little in and out.
Yep. Why are we looking at
Yeah.
E.T. On Chaz's fucking screen?
Well, it's what ET giving a reach around.
Ouch, Chaz.
Chaz and I are like,
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Chaz and I are the
Oh.
two immature 16-year-olds on
Yeah.
I've decided
stunted growth.
just like Kevin Brown decided he was British. I've decided I'm now Scottish. So
John, those are full.
Locha
those are-
Bigora.
The fucking.
Agora.
All right.
The old come and go.
The old ejaculate and evacuate. That's right. Speaking of that fake British asshole, he had Runaround number 6. He says another one that is rated way too low in the polls.
Here we go. Reach around.
Reach around. We got to get to.
Oh, fuck.
Someone's got to record.
Oh, why did you do that?
That would
to
have been a
the
cool
song?
concert stunt. Right now, Mikey's giving me a reach around.
Oh, fuck, this went off the rails. At song number 3. We made it farther than I anticipated.
It was
before-
always
It's
it was
true.
always going to be, is it Eric or is it Chaz that's going to take it
I
off
know.
the rails?
Yeah.
Woo.
Turns out it was both of them. All right, back to Runaround. Bo-host Darren had this number 1. He says pure pop metal with a killer riff and semi-vocals. Sensational background vocals. I could not agree more. For Bo-host Brent, he had it number 6. The breakdown when Sammy does his boxing punches in the video is a highlight of the song for me. There's so many more highlights than Sammy boxing the video. Like, come on. Come on, Brent. I'm not buying him a shot now in Toronto when we go to the Best of All Worlds tour. But
You better. He's got his heart set on it.
well, I'll buy one for Darren.
Spiteful bastard.
It turns out I'm Team Darren when it comes to the Bo hosts on the Bogus Oda show. But we're down to the final 2. I think there's only 2 songs we haven't covered. One of them kind of a surprise. You've been calling for Judgment Day quite a lot here, haven't you?
Yeah.
But you know what? It made it to the final 2. Is it the number 1 song?
What?
Though? Yeah.
I think Judgment Day is not going to get past Pound Cake, but that's just
Yeah, I
Pound Cake
agree.
number
I think
1. I didn't
Pound Cake's
think
gotta
that
be number
the
1.
general audience would like I love Pound Cake. Oh shit, I'm spoiling my anyway. But I didn't think the general consensus would be the way it's going now. I'm very surprised.
Jeff Brewer says, I've only been here a few minutes and I've heard the term reach around way more than I was expecting. You and me both. You and me fucking both.
Percentage.
Oh, Eric, come on. I expected more from you.
I'm the serious Van Halen News Desk reporter here. I'm supposed to be giving you hard-hitting news.
Hard-hitting news. Where am I?
Hard-hitting news, yeah, okay.
Eric, you haven't given me a scoop
I
in a couple of
approve.
weeks. What is the special gift we get if we pre-order Alex's book from the Van Halen site? Give it to us.
You figured it out. You figured it out.
Did
And
I?
I'm the one who's going to give it.
It's
I'm
a
gonna
reach
drive right to
around.
your
It's
house.
a reach around.
It's a reach around from Eric Senich. There you go. There's the bonus.
Oh God.
Or Anne Murray.
Well, I,
Ooh. You'd
we're
have
not.
soft hands, I
We are
think.
not bringing up that bitch Anne Murray. I tell you what. What we are going to bring
That
up
bitch out of this.
is the song that finished number 2 in the poll. That's right, Judgment Day. And this isn't Judgment Day. Let me get the right fucking graphic up here.
What's going on?
I've had a few whiskeys.
Nice.
Here we go. Judgment Day, 203 points. This is the big surprise for me. I like Judgment Day. I had this as my number 5 track. But number 2? Wow, really high. 4 people ranked this as their top song on For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. 1 person ranked this 9th. The most votes, 5 people had this ranked equally 2nd and 3rd. The audience ranking for this one is 5th. Judgment Day. Mark Meyer, you had this one ranked number 5. Are you as surprised as I am?
That it's so high, yes. But as you just pointed out, it's my number 5. I think it definitely deserves to be in the top 5. 2, I mean, I think something interesting happened when we covered this song on the show. It kind of brought a new audience to it, and I think or just people who had forgotten that it's really a banger of a song, so they just went back and listened to it, and maybe because of that, I'm not taking credit for the fact that because of our show this is ranked so high. I'm just saying perhaps there's a correlation of people being reintroduced to Judgment Day, because it is a banger. I am surprised though that it made it to the number 2 slot, but hey, whatever. It deserves to be top 5.
Scott Monroe says, yes, in fact, Judgment Day is the second track on the album. Brad Mangan says, good one for driving through Texas. It's a banger, but surprised how high it got, and that's kind of where I land, too. But I'm looking at people who ranked this number 1. Our good friend Per Lineker ranked this one number 1. So did our new friend John Drake, who was on our last live show. Did a fantastic job. John Drake also gave us the contact information for Gary Sharon's publicist. So we're going to reach out. We're going to see if we can get Gary Sharon on the show. Will it happen? Probably not, but we're going to at least try. Josh had this one number 1 as well, as did Bo host Brent. Todd McGinnity, Judgment Day, had this one number 3.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, it's it's a rockin' tune. The solo is wicked as usual. Sammy shows off his scream. I mean, Dave has got his scream, but when Sammy does his scream, it's a whole different thing altogether. But when you listen to it, you can just hear it in his voice. It's just awesome.
It's very true. Ryan Powell, you had a third as well?
Yeah, I would have gone into this expecting this to end up number 2, and Dream Is Over just edged it out. But this really feels like something that would have. This is the Sammy version of what it would have been at home on Fair Warning. Just has that edge to it. Has the aggression with both the instrumental and the vocals. Just a lot of really good things to say about it. I love, especially seeing Eddie play it. That the tapping he's doing, like playing it like a piano from above with both hands for that section. It's really cool to see when he does that live.
Well, Jeff Brewer in the chat says, Judgment Day made it to number 2. I can't believe that. Ed is so abusive to his tremolo. It bothers me. This, I believe, was the last appearance on record of the Kramer 5150. Eric Senich, when you're not giving reach-arounds in the parking lot of the Come and Go, you're ranking Judgment Day number 2.
Absolute badass song. I've said this before. This is my favorite. This is my favorite Sammy era track that wasn't a single, and it just gets better every time I listen to it. I mean, it's got so much power to it, so much drive. I mean, I can't say enough about the song. I have it as it's not my number 1. I couldn't resist putting the other one at number 1. But man, I love this fucking song. I could listen to it any day.
I'm right there with you, brother. But Chaz disagrees totally. Yeah, this one ranked number 7.
What?
Shame on you.
Come on. Again, it's kind of, it's a great tune and everything, but not one I play a lot. So I can't help you. I just don't play it a lot.
Well,
and when I say play, it's not that I'm not listening to it. I listen to it. I love this record end to end, honestly. Even Pleasure Dome, it's got its place listening to the record, but when I'm playing guitar, because this one, I mean, it came out. I mean, when this thing came out, I've got one of Eddie's guitar picks from this tour. It's got his signature on the back. It says "fuck," with the little parentheses. It's got a little thing. It's really cool to have that. And I was in high school when this record came out, right? So what year was this?
91.
Oh, so I was just out of high school a couple of years. But I mean, when this record came out, I was all over it. It was one of those where I was just so pumped and loved everything about it. Loved the aesthetic. I had the album. I had a cassette. I had multiple formats of the thing. I fucking wore it out. I thought it was great. I think this is one of their best of the era of Van Hagar. I think this is one of the best musically.
You're not fooling anyone, Chaz. In 91, you were out of high school about 20 years.
No,
you old bastard.
That's right, and I was dating Anne Murray.
Anne Murray.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, she was dating everyone. So.
Anne Murray is a total slut. Everybody knows that. Especially Sean McGinnity.
I heard she gave Eric Senich a hand job in a parking lot. I don't know. It could be wrong.
In the Come and Go, that's right.
Murray,
it's only a rumor. It's unconfirmed.
She's a no good whore.
Eric, you confirm or deny
she
getting a
did the
reach around
Muppets.
from Anne Murray?
Carol Channing.
The Muppets.
Carol Channing. How the fuck did we go there?
Carol Channing.
Jesus.
What's wrong with Carol Channing? Jesus.
We are way off the fucking rails now.
Next thing you're going to go after B. Arthur. You're going to go after B. Arthur next? What the fuck?
Kevin Brown, we need a t-shirt design of Eric Senich getting a reach around from Carol Channing. Can you make that happen? Sean McGinnity, let's get back to Judgment Day. You had this one
Hey, I
number
found a
2.
picture of Anne Murray with O.J. Simpson here. But
Oh,
anyway,
oh,
I'm
we're
sorry.
not
Go
getting
ahead.
into OJ. Jesus, Chaz, no. Sean, please. Judgment Day.
Oh,
Fucking badass. Just fucking
Wait, OJ?
badass.
OJ?
No,
Oh,
Judgment Day.
How do I
Judgment
kick
Day is
Chaz
so
out
good.
of it?
I actually, this is one of those songs where, yeah, the music is phenomenal. There's no doubt about it. But Sammy's actually doing some stuff vocally, doing some stuff lyrically. Was it Scott talking about the harmonizing between Sammy and Mikey, where they're doing that
Oh man.
fuck at the end? It's just like,
Going
God
way up
damn,
high.
His harmonies.
everyone's on point. It's just, I don't know. This is like, no. You know, maybe we're doing those fancy schmancy right on songs. We can still kick ass, and this is us kicking ass. Number 2 for me, no problem.
Mike has such a high range.
Oh, yeah.
And then with Sammy together, both of them together,
Mhm.
it's just
Insane.
it's heaven.
Yeah. Michael Griffin, you agreed with the ranking here. You had it number 2.
Number 2. I mean, we talked about songs on this record that were uneven and the instrumental's great, but Sammy's not very good and that kind of thing. But they get it all together. Every band member is stellar in this song. It's lyrically good. Mikey's great. Al's sounds like Bonzo came back, and Ed's Ed. It's a really, really good song, and it's number 2. It's 33 years old, and it's still cool and still grows on you even today. So it's a remarkable song, really.
It really is.
Yeah.
Fantastic tune. I remember the guest on our show. Remember, Mark, way back when we did Judgment Day? And,
yes.
And,
With Kelsey.
No, it wasn't Kelsey. Wasn't it?
Yeah, Kelsey did Judgment Day with us.
Did she?
Yeah, that was her first show.
Okay. I'm thinking of someone else then, but
Man, Michael, you didn't have to tell us it was 33 years ago. That was messed up.
That was really mean of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
my 6 through 1 are so close. I had Judgment Day 5, but it's interchangeable with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and with the number 1 song, which we'll get to in a second. But let's get to the Bo hosts. What did they think of Judgment Day? Bo host Darren said Judgment Day was number 4. Love this tune for its heaviness, but for me, the more melodic stuff wins out. For Brett, Judgment Day was actually number 1. Simple, it chugs and hums at the same time, plus the lyrics are killer. Making plans a waste, ain't no future here, got no face, got no religion. Tell me why should I care or even try? So he ranked this one at number 1. Kevin Brown had Judgment Day incorrectly ranked at number 9. He says, a deep cut I always enjoy. Another sensational, but it's a great drum part from Al, and it's frenetic and interesting enough that I always enjoy it. And then he put in parentheses, I'm really not British. I'm from Saskatoon. I can't believe I snowed all you idiots. So there it is from Kevin Brown himself. He's lying this entire time. He's not from Britain at all. But one thing that isn't a lie is the song that is number 1. I imagine everybody kind of had this one pegged when they were doing the 4 Unlawful rankings. Right? It's got to be Pound Cake, right? Like, come on, listen to that. Got the drill going, and Al comes in with the big, heavy drums. Pound Cake comes in at number 1, 225 points. Kind of the runaway winner here. It led Judgment Day by 22 points. It ranked, 6th? 6 people had this ranked number 1. 2 people had this ranked number 7. The most votes it got was 2nd, so it actually didn't get the most number 1 votes. That was a different song. This one got the most number 2 votes. The audience had this ranked number 3 for some reason. But Pound Cake, number 1 on the polls. For me, it was number 2. Mark Kmeyer, for you, it was number 2 as well.
Yeah, it was number 2 just because it had to go against Right Now, and I already spoke my piece about Right Now and why I feel like that's the anthem of the album. However, a good argument can be made with Pound Cake because, I mean, it's the opening track, lures you in with that drill, and then it just keeps hitting on all cylinders, and it's your introduction to this glorious album. So you can't really vote too negatively against it because it's just, I don't know, it just kicks ass to me. So it's my number 2 only because it had to compete with Right Now, which that was going to be number 1 regardless.
And it was my number 2 as well. I had Run Around number 1, but Pound Cake is a very close number 2. Let's go to Kevin Brown. He had Pound Cake. Let's see here. He had it number 1. He says, quote, "One of my all-time favorite intros, kicks off the album beautifully. If you don't like your woman's pound cake, get the fuck out." There you go. Let's go to the Bo hosts. Bo host Darren had Pound Cake ranked number 6. He says, "Like Jump, it's overplayed on radio, and although I still love it, I feel it's a bit slow. A faster tempo may have been better." Oof. Bo host Brent says Pound Cake comes in for him at number 7. It was a popular single, but popular singles don't always rise to the top for him. How about you, Ryan Powell? You had Pound Cake all the way down at number 6.
Yeah, and that doesn't say that I don't love this song because I do. Like I've been saying, 2 through 6 were super, super tight, and just had to give the nudge to the other ones to beat it out. But yeah, the use of the drill on this, the fact that it's not just a gimmick at the beginning and he throws it away, the fact that he can just pick it up in the middle of his solo and incorporate it into his solo as well is just masterclass. Has a great, has a great feel. I love the tempo of it. I think it just gives it a nice groove to it. And the opening of the video, I can just picture the little girl, what are little girls made of? What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and everything nice. It was a perfect, I don't know. Iconic because I just watched those videos so many times. But
now Stank personified. Listen. Eric Sinich, I know you're not a Van Halen fan and you've never listened to this record before, but what are your thoughts on Pound Cake? You ranked this one number 1.
Yeah, number 1, and it's interesting because it doesn't necessarily have like that killer like anthemic chorus like Top of the World or Right Now. It's really the catchiest part is the part that has no lyrics. It's the but it just works. And the solo, how it slows down, and what's so cool is to watch them do this live, especially Eddie. Like he would do the solo, then quickly pick up the fucking drill, and it's just such a fucking great song. And the lead single on that album, and I mean, Alex had to have been so happy with how this sounds because this was like he attained the bottom sound on this for sure. Yeah, this is it's got to be. It's a no-brainer one for me.
All right, Chaz Charles, you had Pound Cake number 2.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it's really like for those of us where it came in number 2, it's really number 1, but we were making a statement with our number 1. So, I put 316 there because of the very special reasons that 316 is a song. But in terms of rockers on the album, yeah, this is number 1, even though it's my number 2. Fuck, it's just as Eric just said, right? He really did nail that sound. Alex, this record was just you can hear the bass. It was really just so well produced, every track all the way through, that I had no complaints, other than just not even that it's a little slower. Again, the drill was iconic. I loved replicating that as a kid and trying to get the right tone, and you had to get the right fucking Makita drill at the, right? I mean, they were like, things that you could do with it, and it was fun to try and replicate it. And I still love to play it to this day. So that's how I rank this record. It's, how fun it is to play.
That was a cool way to rank it, actually, how fun it is to play. I really liked what you did there, Chaz. Michael Griffith, this was your number 1 song.
Number 1 song. This is my favorite Sammy era song. And I shared it on Discord, but I do have a story with this. So I was in Fresno for the first show for Live Right Here, Right Now, where the video was filmed. And I got this shirt, which if you can see the back, is the Pound Cake definition shirt. And it's Pound Cake, and then it says what the definition is, and it says, "I love my baby's Pound Cake." In 1992, this would have been, I'm walking down the football field at high school, and all these and I wasn't on the football team that year, and like 5 jocks made fun of me for this shirt, made fun of this shirt, made fun of Van Halen, and said what a shitty band they were and all that kind of thing to me. And I still can't believe that. I know it's grunge era, but like, I mean, it's like making fun of the Beatles or something. Who makes fun of Van Halen?
Fuck.
Anyway,
I had a girl pull down. I had a girl pull down my gym shorts because I was wearing a Bon Jovi shirt, but that was another story.
Yeah, so I can see that, but you're talking Van Halen here, so.
Was that just like last week's, Chaz, or what?
What's that?
Was that last week? You were wearing your "It's My Life" T-shirt.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the charges. Yeah.
One other observation with this is I've seen Vic Johnson play it with Sammy before, Sammy in the Circle, and he doesn't, in my opinion, do a very good job with it. And it's like a little off. I'm not a guitar player, but it seems a little off compared to what Ed does. So it'll be very interesting how Joe Satriani does it. I'm sure they're going to play this song when he does Best of All Worlds.
With a drill,
I'll play it with him. I'll fucking get up and play it.
You can play it, Chaz.
Yeah,
just go play it.
I'll just go do it.
Fuck that Satch guy.
Yeah, that guy.
All right, and that's everybody. I didn't forget anyone talking about Pancake. So, Mark, you can go ahead and wrap it up.
Regardless.
All right.
Oh, wait. Is there... I'm forgetting that little shit from Winnipeg down below. God, I can't believe how he slipped my mind like that. But Sean McGinnity, inside joke if you caught the first stream of the night. But Sean, you had this one ranked number 4.
Yeah, just the first 3 songs for me. Like, I love Pound Cake. In fact, after watching this video, I was a huge fan of Mikey back in the day, and I literally recreated his outfit from this video. And would go to the bar going, I'm dressed like Michael Anthony. Of course I'm going to get some. And it never worked.
Really?
But he ended up drunk in the back of the car.
But I ended up laughing a lot and singing a lot of high notes. So
I tell you what, that would work with Eric Sedich. If you want to reach around from a middle-aged white guy, that's the way to do it.
No, but this song is phenomenal. I love the video when it came out. This is the opening track when Todd and I saw Van Halen for the first time. This is what they started with. You had the Makita drill. It holds a high place, but I mean, I had 316 as my number 1, as I mentioned before. Judgment Day is just phenomenal, and Pleasure Dome to piss off Corey more than anything. But no, I mean, it's phenomenal. Like it used to be my favorite song, but 316 kind of jumped into that position.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Here's some neat trivia from Jeff Brewer in the chat. He says the opening 2 chords to Pound Cake are the same 2 chords used in On Fire, right when Dave says nobody rules these streets. Oh, yeah. I've never picked up on that, so thank you for that, Jeff. That's
fun little fact.
Fun fact.
You know what's a fun fact? We did it. We've done another show, another ranking show on the books. One more down, and we've got a few more to go.
5150 is next. That's right. So everybody start sending me your 5150 rankings. That'll be the next live show.
That one is going to be fun, especially if you did catch the first part of this grand crossover live stream. You'll understand why. That's going to be a very fun show to rank and talk about. It's going to be a difficult one for me, I'll tell you right now, but that is it for us, you guys. I want to thank everyone on the panel here. Todd and Sean McGinnity, the brothers, joining us once again. And thank you very much for having us on part 1. So, hey, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Every week, every Monday, 5 a.m., there's a brand new episode that drops. Join us on our Patreon so you can get everything in video format as they come out. Before they come out. You can find us on SeanMcGinnity.ca. Todd will say it sexy for you, or all social media at Sean Geek Podcast. Go ahead, Todd.
That's SeanMcGinnity.ca. That's SeanMcGinnity.
I'm very aroused.
My goodness.
Wow, it's just awesome.
Fully engorged.
Scott Haskin beat that. I dare you. I dare you.
The challenge has been made. There you go. Be on the look.
We got to facilitate this. We need a Sexy Spin and Podcasting sex off here between Todd and Scott Haskins.
Yeah, there you go. A
Awesome.
patron exclusive. Pay top dollar for that.
We'll have scripts.
Speaking of top dollar, there's no one who's more top dollar about Van Halen goodness than our friend Eric Sinich, man. Our resident expert, because Corey and I are definitely not experts. If you've listened to our trivia show, we can attest to that. But Eric Sinich is. He's he's our good friend. We thank you for being part of this, man. Thanks for coming on and being on the show. Tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Yeah, man, those are good questions. I'm telling you, you got me stumped on a few of those. Yeah, so book.rock.com, you can find me there. Just put up an episode tonight on 80s hair metal with Stephen Blush, who put out a great book called American Hair Metal Can't Get Enough. And he reveals that he played Pee-wee football with Richie Sambora. It's just in.
No shit.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was cool. I said, is he a good football player? He goes, yeah, he was pretty good. Hollywood geek rock scene of the 90s and 2000s episode on that. U2's Pop just did one on that. A lot of good stuff in there. So check it out. On Journey, I did one. Bookdownrock.com. And then, of course, VHND.com for all the latest Van Halen news and Van Halen stores, which is where I got this. You guys can't really see. Oh, there's Eddie.
Oh, I love the Van Halen store. My collection volume 1 just shipped today.
Oh, nice.
The first 6 records with the laminates. I ordered it like 2 weeks ago, and I was stressing. I'm like, it's still pending. Like, they haven't shipped it. I was worried I was going to sell out, but it shipped today.
And by the way, I think it's not in the store yet, but Van Halen at 50. Martin Popoff's the author, and I got a copy of the book from our buddy Steve Roth from Motor Books.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful book. Yeah, it's hardcover. It's fucking awesome. So keep an eye out for that in the Van Halen store, and I'll be chatting with Martin in late May, so we'll put it up on Booked on Rock and in the news desk at sometime like maybe late May or June.
And hopefully sometime close to October, you'll have maybe Alex Van Halen on Booked on Rock.
Hell yeah, right?
That's the dream, right?
We'll see. Boy, that's just like going to be huge when the fall comes around. It's, nobody knows what's in there. I mean, we just got the little blurb. That's it. So it'd be great to see Alex do some interviews.
I am really hoping you get that interview, Eric. I'm really hoping you get the interview because that'll be amazing.
I won't hold my breath on that one, but we'll see. But I think he may just do maybe a few, maybe. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, man. It's just so excited to see what's going to be inside of there.
Yeah,
what he's going to talk about, and just hopefully he's doing okay.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from him, so
for real, yeah.
What he's up to, but
all right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Get
Thanks
down
for having
on
me again,
that.
guys.
Of course, always a good time, and it's always a good time when Ryan Powell joins us at the panel, man. Thank you so much for being part of this. Hey, let the people know what's going on with you. Where can they find you?
Oh, you don't need to find me anywhere. You'll just find me in the manifestos and pitching in, making Mark read way too long missives on Van Halen, and always with the upvotes. So I'm glad I got to participate on this one. I think hands down favorite album, and a lot of good stuff, a lot of good things to talk through.
Well, the manifestos is what you pay for, and I aim to please. So there you go. Just you keep writing them, and I'll keep reading them. I might stumble, but I'll keep reading them. Michael Griffith joining us on the show once again, fan favorite, honorary guest and panelist himself. Thank you so much for being on here, man. What you got going on?
Mike S. Griffith on X. Just hit me up, talk Van Halen. But yeah, I appreciate being here and invited. Always fun and great time.
Hell yeah, man. Anytime. And of course, we got to give it up for our friend Chaz. Old Chaz joining us on the show. Always a pleasure, even when it's chaotic as shit, but it's always a fun time regardless. So Chaz, tell the people what all you got going on. You've got so much.
Oh, let me roll out the list. It's going to be, wait, do I get some theme music in the background? Maybe some beautiful girls or something? But anyway, no, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Why would you do that?
There you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Why would you give him that window?
Yay.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so, well, hey, man, we've got Rush Rash, of course, and we've got the Regarding series. We're just wrapping up season 2, which is regarding Roger Waters and his redux of Pink Floyd, The Wall, not The Wall, Jesus Christ, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, redux. And he's redone that, and we're just getting ready to wrap that up and get into season 3, which will be regarding Van Halen 3 with Scotty Monroe.
Yes.
Along with Wolfie and myself. So, the 3 of us. And some of you clowns in here. We got a bunch of cavalcaded guests, and I think some of them are right here in this room. So,
And
we'll have fun
Alex
digesting that.
Didn't play any drums on Van Halen.
Ooh, we got the scoop on that the other night. Holy shit.
Oh, wow. There you
Yeah.
go. That's
Mike
something to look
posted
forward to. There you go.
Yeah.
Something to
Yep.
talk about. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. It's a fun time. I think that's everybody. And then we'll just, Corey, I throw it up to you, man. We are part of a grand scheme of well, to use the word that Chaz just used, a cavalcade of awesome podcasts and a part of a great podcasting network. Do you want to run through the list there, Corey?
Oh man, I was unprepared for that, but I suppose I can.
I mean, we don't have to. We can edit this part out. If you
Oh
want.
no, I'm ready to go, man. We got some Panama going. Let's go through the list of all the great podcasts you're going to get on the Deep Dive Podcast Network, including the Ultimate Catalog Clash featuring myself and Kevin Brown, currently breaking down the first 20 years of the Foo Fighters. Check us out there. Then we have Kevin Brown at the Tom Petty Project, and with his buddy Randy Woods at Seaside Pod Review. We have Scott Haskin, the second sexiest man in podcasting, doing the Magicians Podcast, the Uriah Heep Show. Then we have Nate and John at the Deep Purple Podcast, The Simple Man at Skinnerd Reconsidered, Terry T-Bone Mathley at T-Bone's Prime Cuts, Riot Sabbath Bloody Podcast, Paul, Joe, and David at In the Lap of the Pods, Andy and Matt at Hawk Binge, Eric and Jonathan at Maiden A to Z, Daniel and Josh at Diary of the Madman, the Ultimate Aussie Podcast, Ben and Sam at Universally Speaking, the Red Hot Chili Peppers Podcast, George and Hattie at the Judas Priest Cast, Clay and Rye at the North by South Podcast, Greg and Jonathan at So Far, So Pod, So What, Quinn at Volume for All, Sav, Nick, Steve, and Mark at the Rock Roulette Podcast, Chaz and Greg at Regarding Lulu, Chaz and Chats at Rush Rash, Chaz and Wolfie at Regarding Rogers, and coming soon, Chaz, Wolfie, and Scott at Regarding Van Halen 3. I believe Mark and I have a song on that show. I can't wait to talk about it. Then we have the Rewind to 1984 podcast, the Sean Geek and Fast Fred podcast. We just recorded an episode tonight, which is quite easily the best show they've ever done. Go check that out wherever you get your podcast from. Then, of course, we have the DLR cast, the Bogus Soda Show, booked on rock with the one and only legendary Eric Senich. You're All Doomed, a Friday the 13th podcast, Spinning the Wheel podcast, Dissect That Film, Three's Company 2, a rewatch podcast, the Nerf Herder Council, Talking into Infinity, and, of course, Pod of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Corey. And be sure to check out all of those awesome shows. If you remotely enjoy the things that we do, I guarantee you'll like any and every one of those shows. By the way, go to podcastwillrock.com. You can find all the backlog episodes on audio. Find our merch store. Get yourself an Apologies to Gary t-shirt, because that would make me very happy, and it would make me laugh knowing that there's just an army of you guys out there wearing those shirts, waiting for Gary Sharon to walk past you and just go, what in the hell is happening? Why am I seeing this? That would just give me all the joy. But don't just stop there. We have plenty of awesome designs you can choose from. But there you go. Corey's going to show you there it is. The Apologies to Gary shirt. Get it in any color you want. And you can even change the type of fabric if you want. It's that cool, it's that easy, and it would make me that much happier. So get on over there to do that. And while you're at it, if you want to check out other things that Corey and I have got on the horizon, and if you want to be a part of this grand network of folks that we've acquired in our time in the show, join the Patreon. That's right, patreon.com, podcast will rock. Find a tier that's right for you, and keep the journey going. You'll get access to the Discord. That's where the conversations are actually happening, and they're awesome and they're fun. They're not always about Van Halen, but that's cool too. There's lots of Van Halen talk there. That is the ultimate perk of the Patreon, the link to the Discord and early access. And then you get to join this cavalcade of Muppets that we have here talking about Van Halen, being part of the ranking systems. It's awesome. It's that much fun. You're going to want to join the Patreon. for the foreseeable future. And if you don't find a tier that works for you, let us know. I'm sure we can find something that will work. So be on that. And with that, on behalf of everybody involved, another superb live show. Thank you so much for listening, tuning in. We are, and the podcast will rock, and we will rock you later.